Bless you.
Thanks.
And we are live, finally we are live. Sorry everyone, there were a few technical difficulties, but those are resolved, so we can finally start today's special Saturday live stream where we're gonna talk about a game that continues to impress me and to get me excited because of its, especially because of its story. And that's Antennae Dilemma, an adventure game that's coming out later this week. Oh, sorry, next week. It's coming out next week. This week it's almost done. And to talk about that and more, the one-man army, the creator of Antennae Dilemma, Jan. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Yeah, thanks. Right, thanks. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm good. It's been a long time coming, I gotta say, but it's nice to finally hear you, even with the teeny voice. It's fine. You sound good.
Sorry.
And because you know I've been playing your games for probably more than 2.5 years now, and it's really great to see. Yeah, I think it could be almost maybe 3 years now.
Yes,
and it's really cool that to see your first game that's coming out on Steam, right? Antennae Dilemma.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Okay, so that's coming out on the 24th. Let's talk about it. Tell everyone what Antennae Dilemma is all about.
So it's a game about, it's a point and click adventure game where you follow the story of a cube named C432632. Yeah, no, it's not very easy to remember. It's a finicky cube that doesn't want to miss his favorite TV show. So right now he's waiting for his favorite show. And the game starts like that. And something will happen.
Something bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to spoil. Just the beginning of the game.
Yeah. So can you, well, the character, we're going to talk about the character more. One thing that, a lot of people may not know is that although Antennae Dilemma is coming out on Steam,
yes,
it was actually initially made for last year's Adventure Jam. So
yes,
can you
true.
tell us a little bit about how that worked, how the development, those 2 weeks, I think you had 2 weeks to make
Yes,
it?
it was 2 weeks. I had the idea of making this a game about cubes because, to be honest, it's easy to draw, and it was for game jam, so it was very interesting for me to make a game that I can easily draw because I wanted to focus on the story and on the characters and on the dialogues. So it was only 15 days, so it was very short to make a full game. And that's how I started to make a story about cubes. And so I focused about these cubes. And first thing I saw was so they are cubes. So they're using cubic objects. So what they're going to do every day? So they're watching TV. But old TVs, not flat screen TVs like right now. So the idea started like that, and I had to create a story very, very, very fast. And I think I took 2 or 3 days, of maybe less, maybe 2 days, to write all about the scenes that we will have, not all the dialogues, but mostly what will be the puzzles, what will be the backgrounds, and so on. And so I had to make some choice and because again it was a game jam. But yes, it all started like that with DTV and with the first cliffhanger that the first event. I'm not going to spoil, that will happen later. And yeah, so it started like that, this story. So I finished 7 or 8 of these game jams. I don't remember. We were more than 80, so it was really good. I was very happy, and especially I got the third place in the story category. So
Nice.
I was very happy about it, because I really took a lot of time to think about this story, about what will happen, about this black and white stuff. We will talk about it later, I guess. And yeah, so I was very happy about that.
So let me ask you a little bit about your
Yes.
creative process in the game jam. So when you were thinking and writing the story and the scenes, were you in those days, were you working on anything else, like on code, or on art, or did you focus exclusively on the story and the writing?
No, drawing, and so I'm using for Antennae Dilemma the same framework and game and jam I use with Inspector Waffles. So I had a lot of time to do other things, because it was already ready to make a game, just copy paste, and it was mostly the same framework to get the same use of items, the same use of dialogue systems, the same way of clicking. For a game engine about a point-and-click game, it works exactly the same for both of the games. So yeah, at the beginning it was mostly writing the story and copy paste about my other game, and to start with some clean code. Also, I will say I started to make mock-ups too about the game, about the cubic atmosphere, because I wanted, like you see, like this tree is has a lot of corners, because I wanted to try to do everything with a cubic atmosphere. So yeah, so first I think this one is the first scene I did one for my mock-up, I think, with the inside the house of the hero. Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
So this whole look, this cube-based look, when you were doing it in the game jam, do you think did this make it easier for you to create assets, to draw up assets, or did you have more problems because you had to be very strict in how you make things?
No, not really. It was not very difficult, to be honest. It's really a simpler way for me, because Inspector Warfare has a more detailed pixel art, and it has a lot more details. So this one, it was easier, because I had to do the same way of drawing, but without details. So it was faster, and I did that on purpose, because again, it was a game jam, so really wanting on this one to focus on the story and dialogues. So.
Right. Okay. So you've made it 15 days. It got a really good response. Actually,
Yes.
well, okay, good response in terms of the story, right? Number 3, top 3
Yeah,
in terms of the story.
But seven,
yeah.
it's still good. I was very happy. It was with friends, and the two guys at two projects over me were very close to me. We have almost the same rank, so I can say it was people liked it, so it makes me happy, actually. So yeah, so no, I was really happy about this. That's why I continue to make the game. was the main reason, to be honest. I didn't expect to make a full game on and put it on Steam 6 months ago. The game jam was 6 months ago. Really, I didn't expect that. But yeah.
So after you finished, did you think that did you want to work more on it, or was the response to it kind of what pushed you towards making it a bigger project?
I just after that I didn't work on it. I worked on Inspector Warfare until December, January, I think. And I started to because I really wanted to finish the game like it was supposed to be, because it was not like when I released it from the game jam. It was some things were missing mostly about the story. For example, right now you are in the antenna scene, and on the right there is the custom scene. So it's not a big spoiler, but it was
no,
not.
we can yeah, we can spoil it.
It was not in the game. Yeah, this scene was not in the game jam, and I added it because I wanted to show more depth into the story. So right now this scene is used to show to the player that he can't leave the place. He has to find a way to fix it to his own TV, but he can't leave, and that's weird because it doesn't look like a safe place to live, and that was not very clear during the game jam, this part of the story. So yeah, so that's why I did this in. And what I was talking about the game jam, I forgot.
That you finished and it was a great response, and you didn't get to do everything that you wanted to, and that's why.
Yes, I remember. I was talking about. I started to work on January this year to finish the game. Yeah. I said we because with Philip who does the music and proofread my text, we wanted to finish it and to do a proper version of the game like we wanted to do at first. And yes, so we worked from January to right now, because now it's on the it's build without bugs and errors, we hope. So we took 4 months to finish it, and to finish it like we wanted to do almost 1 year ago.
Well, that's good, and you're bringing it also to a bigger audience on Steam, which might be a little scary, but that's a good thing.
Yes, and I polished a lot of backgrounds. Like this one was not as good as right now. It was, for example, it took a lot of time to make the building better, and also the main differences with the game jam version. It's at the end of the game, and everything. We added a reason for the players to want to know more about it. And we explain everything about the story. But if you like the game, if you are interested about the story, I think the end gave you the motivation to know more about this game.
Right, so let's talk about the world, because I think that's, characters aside, right? Because characters in a point-and-click adventure game always stand out, because they're supposed to stand out. It's you communicate with them. There's jokes, there are lines, there's a lot of interaction with characters. There's a lot of that, but I think the world is probably the most compelling thing about Antennae Dilemma. And can you describe the world in which C432-632 lives? QB. Let's call him
QB, yes, it's QB. It's QB, but not right now. It's kind of a spoiler, but not a big one. So let's say QB because it will be easier for both of us to talk about it.
No, but that's also relevant, right? Because this character, your character, the character you start playing with, the fact that its name is C43262, that's part of the lore, and I think it's an interesting thing since, it's not like, oh, Guybrush Threepwood, or, silly names like that. No, well, this one has another different name, and some might call it a silly name because it's more like a code, but there's a reason for that. Can you explain kind of like why there's the reason for that?
So yeah, I can also explain why I had decided. Actually, I decided because one job I had, I don't know, it was maybe 6 years ago. When I started, I was a consultant for another company, and they didn't give me an email address with my name, but it was something like that with a number on it, and number
Really?
at something.com. Yeah. And I don't know, it was the most complicated thing to do, because if you explain something to someone, so you can send me a mail reach me at this address. I say, okay, why how they can decide that it will be simpler? I don't know. Okay, so and it's the number of the characters. There is an explanation about that. They don't have a name, and all of them have just a number. It's a way to show that something is wrong in this place. Like, why they don't have names? Why they just have numbers? So it's kind of dictatorships, but he can't see it, that something is wrong about his name. With later in the game, he's talking about that with other characters, and he doesn't see it. He doesn't see what's wrong, and that's something I like about him. His life is watching TV and going out to take some food at the grocery store, but that's all. It doesn't think about what's wrong about it. And it's something I see in some real people sometimes, and that's why that's one of the idea of the game, that maybe open your eyes. Okay, I will do it because I have to do it. You have to think outside the box sometimes, and so that's the main idea of the game, of these characters. The idea of open your eyes. Don't stay just at home. Do something of your life, and
don't stay in the box.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, I really like that. That's probably one of the first things that you see with Antennae Dilemma. This extreme disconnect between your character, QB, and yourself, because you're a free-thinking human, and you see there's a problem. It's very impersonal. Why is it all black and white? Why is everyone watching TV? Why is that the main thing about their lives? So everything is odd, and you have so many questions, and your character is like oblivious. It's like, it's for him, for the character, it's normal life. He doesn't question anything. It's what he knows. Exactly, he doesn't do anything, but you are like bursting with questions and like, come on, I have to find out why. And that's this discovery. I think it's really put into perspective, and I like how your character is not questioning things. You have to do it.
Yes,
it's like, no, it's all on you, because your character is not going to help almost at all, on that front.
Yeah, and you have a question in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I see. So, Loose Bend, what is Cube's favorite show? Does he prefer TV shows, reality TV, or sports?
So
that's a good question.
He doesn't like reality TV because I forgot the jokes about it. It's sorry. It's okay. He said something about the Kardashian, but I forgot the joke exactly. So he doesn't like TV reality. And a reality TV, sorry. And about the other, I can't tell what is his favorite show, because it's an important aspect of the game. And at the end of the game, someone will ask him what's his favorite show. So and the answer is important. So I can tell. I'm sorry, I can tell. You have to play.
So it's he's definitely not watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So
Yes,
that's one
something
thing.
like that. Yes, yes.
That doesn't happen in terms of
Or
sports.
Square Dashian.
No, I put
yes.
like with
Okay, Square
because it
Dashian.
you know why it's cuter with Cube, because you can put the K, you know, because it's Kardashian and you can put Cube with a K. That's you know, that's something that I like and I used before. But so not sports. He's like he's more of a romantic. We'll see. Maybe he likes telenovelas. Maybe he likes some action. Who knows? But he doesn't
he's
really
not
seem like an
the kind of guy who likes sports. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's kind of guy. Kind of guy
I mean,
who
he's a cube. He's a cube. Cubes don't really roll much, so they're not very sporty in that. They can't even move properly. It's hard.
I'm sure he likes bad TV show. I know the one with bad actors and with actors from the 1980s from action movies who try to do
Come on, those are good. I mean, who doesn't want to see an episode of Renegade? I mean, with Lorenzo Lamas or the A-Team. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They actually made the show afterwards.
30 years ago it was good, and it's still good.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching right now, but the nowadays series are not that good. I'm sorry.
Maybe if QB existed in this world, he would watch Game of Thrones, and he would probably be very excited about that because he seems to be the type of individual that doesn't stand out, and that's a good thing for you because you get to kind of bring him out of that. But for him, it's not that great. He's a little too bland in the world. I don't think he stands out. Not even
Yeah, he will watch like everyone we watch. Probably yes.
Game of Cubes, exactly. Yeah.
Game of
Cubes.
Yes. Game of
That's a good one. Yeah. So tell me more about the world. So this, because we most of the things we see is through interaction and your character's monologue. You don't get to find out a lot of the world from other characters, which I think it's quite different from other point-and-click adventure games. You know, when you talk to a lot of characters, there's a lot of dialogue, and that's fine. It's not, you know, there's nothing bad with that. But with Antennae Dilemma, it's more the internal dialogue or the monologue QB has when, you know, watches something, sees something, picks up something, and all that.
But there is a reason about that. It's everyone is watching TV right now because it's everyone. It's not very clear if you just see the game like that, but everyone is watching TV right now because everyone has his favorite show right now. So it's something strange again, and for him, he doesn't think, okay, something is wrong. Everyone is watching the TV show at the right time, at the same time, every day. So, and there is one aspect we didn't talk about: the atmosphere to the world. It's a very bureaucratic game, but not in a bad way. It's very, very bureaucratic. For him, the loves cube are the cube laws are very important, and he can't do everything he wants without checking if cube laws let him do it. And it's very not a funny guy, very, very boring guy. Who has a very how to say, for example, right now, so you broke
the vending machine.
Yeah, the vending machine, but he doesn't want to live without leaving an excuse note because he has to do it because he's born like that. For him, it's mandatory to do something according to the cube law. And right now he stole the salad, but he can't live without saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." I feel exactly.
Hey, hello. So in this world, in the world of Antennae Dilemma, it seems like every single thing that an individual can do is governed by a law. So there's a
Yes.
law for everything. That's very important. And your character, who again seems like just a normal guy, is a stickler for the rules, and that makes him even more, let's say, restrictive in the sense that he's not helping you. He's just like, oh, this is the law, I'm following the law, and I can only do it if the law says that I can do it. So
Yes.
that freedom that you have in thinking, he doesn't have. So you kind of have to help him on that. So it's I really like this contrast where, your brain is infinite in terms of possibilities, and his brain is so in the box, let's say. So that's what you have to kind of push against, because he's not gonna question the laws. He's not the end justifies the means. That's not a reasonable person, but you get to find out to some extent why he's not a free thinking individual. So that's really cool. I think that's a big part.
In a
It's
dictatorship,
like being born, again.
yeah, yes, in a dictatorship like that, it's a perfect guy when you are the dictator to have some peon like him, because he's not a problem. He doesn't think about a strike or something bad, or doing I don't know, to steal something without thinking a lot. He's very the perfect guy. Is not a threat at all.
Yeah, he follows every rule to the T,
Yeah.
and that's it. So obviously, for looking from the outside, you're gonna say like he's brainwashed, and looking the world around, the only comparison that I would have right now would probably be North Korea, where you can't really say anything or do anything, and it's that top down. You respect the law that's given to you, and that's it. You can't comment, you can't do anything, you don't have any rights. You just have the stuff that are set in stone, and if you deviate 1 second, it's going to be very bad for you. So it's kind of like a North Korea of cubes in here, except, there's no fat dictator. At least we haven't seen them yet. So.
I don't know. I was not inspired by North Korea, but more by a sect, because people are brainwashed, but are more brainwashed in a sect than in North Korea. I'm sure in North Korea, I don't know. I don't want to talk about politics, but I'm sure some people try to go to South Korea and try to be free. And he doesn't want at all. He really enjoys his life, and it's more like a sect, actually, I would say.
Yeah, because I'm guessing the sect comparison, it's good because it's on a smaller scale. So when you have a smaller scale of people, you can influence their lives even more than on a country level, right? So that's the thing. That would be, I'm guessing, one of the the comparisons. I mean, a country. You can brainwash a country. It's just you're still going to get, out of 1 million people, you still get 1,000 that will question your authority. But when you have 100 people, it's going to be maybe one, and you can deal with that. So that's it's a sad life if you think about it. I mean, watching TV. Actually, what does QB do? Because I think that's said. Like, does QB have a job? What does he do? It's outside of watching TV.
It's a good question. Actually, it's not in a game. And maybe we will know in chapter 2.
Oh, okay.
But maybe not. I don't know. It's something unknown. And to be honest, I just didn't think about it right now. So maybe it will be used later, or maybe not.
He really doesn't seem to be like a rocket scientist or anything like that. He looks like he probably does a menial job where he just packs something into a square box or something. He doesn't seem to be like the type of guy to reach high levels of authority.
No, I was thinking something like an accountant, or not how to say, not a manual job, but something with a boring job like him.
Boring office job, numbers. That's
so
it.
So if we have an accountant who listen to the stream. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's. I mean, we get inspiration from wherever we can, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the. I think one thing that really kind of stands out, at least for me, this limited number of NPCs, and even with this new version, this extended version, it's very limited. Was that a design decision, or was that because of the limited time you had with the game jam build? Because you interact with very few people actually, compared to again
It's
other
true.
point-and-click adventure games.
It's yes, of course, it was all about the game jam because 15 days is very small
Yeah.
amount of time to finish to make a game from scratch actually, because we accept the framework, we did everything, so sounds and drawings and text and dialogues, and so of course it was about the game jam. We wanted to finish the game with a nice story, so so that's why. But after, it's true that the polished version doesn't have a lot of NPC. We have the turtle right now, we have the neighbor, and after the customs guy, we can't speak to him because he doesn't want to speak with us. And after that,
Well, he was watching TV. I mean, that's more important. Let's be honest.
Yes. And he was and after that, sorry, I'm thinking, but yes, there's not a lot of NPC, that's true. It's because it doesn't so first
It's not needed. Do you think think it's not needed, like to tell the story properly?
Yes, it was not needed at all for the story, and actually there's a reason, but it's a spoiler, so
no spoilers.
No spoil, but mostly because they're all watching TVs, and that was a good reason, a good excuse for the game to not show people, because when you talk to the customs guy, when you talk with the neighbor, they all say, "Oh, leave me alone, I want to watch TVs." So when you try to go into the grocery store, it's written, "I'm watching TV, come back later." So they're all busy, and that's so
if we see the streets all empty and no one around, and it looks like it's a zombie apocalypse, no, everyone's fine. They're just obsessed with their TV shows, which is very consumer, like capitalist consumer thing. It's a very everyone's binge watching.
So Philip is telling you, make sure you click on the TV. Because I will say it for him. This is his idea of the text. What will happen? So
again, with these boxy ears.
Yes, he helps me a lot with the dialogues, and sometimes he gave me ideas about jokes, and so he did sounds, all the sound, the music, but he also helped me sometimes to share some jokes, some
Let's just say it pokes fun of a lot of current things.
English and French, and he knows better than me sometimes how to say jokes, because for me it's I don't know if when I do a pun, for example, I have no idea if it will be funny or not. It's funny for me, but it will be for people.
It's funny in French, but then it's like in English doesn't. Yeah, because some jokes don't come off the same way due to the translation. That's true. Different culture, different ways of running.
Yeah, sometimes I say okay, in French it's funny, but is it in English? But I'm writing. I wrote the game all in English. I didn't start to do it in French. I never wrote it. Yeah, I never wrote it in French. Actually, I'm going to do it later. I will translate the game in French.
Also, okay, so the initial, okay, so it's going to be available in more languages, at least French.
Yes, at least French. Yes.
Any other languages planned?
Spanish later, and I will depend on how people will enjoy the game, but I would like to translate it in German too, maybe Russian. I don't know, because it's a free game and it cost me to translate it.
Right.
Yes, so I will do it if I see it's useful for to get new players. But if not, I won't, because it's a free game. I don't earn money, so
You don't want money. You just put out there. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's free.
It's okay.
Yes,
Just play.
Make free game.
It's alright.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's well, we're gonna talk about monetization a bit later, because you do have some options when it comes to people supporting you financially, which is
Yes.
I think it's fair game. You did work on this, not only you, so that's that's it's an artistic endeavor. If someone can make money out of it, the creators can make that. I think that's a good thing, and that just encourages more art being made. And yes, games are art, at least some of them, but not in the same way as freaking Mona Lisa. It's a little different, but anyway. People like to conflate it. It's like, oh, if it's art, then it's the same as a sculpture or whatever. It's not the same thing. It's a different art, but it's still art. But,
So yes,
yeah.
if people yes, to be honest, we want to do a sequel with Philip, and this one will be not free. And so yes, so that's the plan. So if we see people really like the game, and we have a lot of player who wants a sequel, we will do it. Our plan is to do it. So please, if you like it, share a good review, share the word that you like the game. So yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about a bit about the audio, right? So what? Because I'm guessing you didn't have. I mean, I'm guessing a lot of the improvements are on the audio part compared to the Adventure Jam version. So what's new in this one?
Oh, Philip will know more than me to say it, to be honest.
More tracks, new tracks, like what's new in this one?
Yeah, I have no idea. What I can say. It's Philip did an awesome job. It's he had the songs just have lo-fi atmosphere, and it's it fits very well with the game, and he did really an awesome job. And if you like the soundtrack, there will be a DLC about it. You can purchase it. Again, it will be available like the game, the April 24th. But yes, but after what I can say about how we think about that, I have no idea. I can.
It just sounds cool. That's the important thing.
I can just say, like, I started to make a mock-up. I shared it on Twitter, and we followed each other with Philip. And I asked everyone on Twitter, someone is interested to make the game, the sound design, and say yes, I'm interested, and that started like that.
Nice.
Yes,
okay,
Philip,
so
yes, Philip.
Yeah,
is
he's in the chat.
answering.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he said the demo version, which would be the Adventure Jam version, only had 2 tracks. The full soundtrack has 5 tracks in game and 2 bonus tracks. So
Yes.
if you wanna hear cubes bumping into each other on strings, that's not it. It's just it's lovely music. But yes, that's gonna be in the full release and the DLC. It's gotta. I really wish there was a track only with cubes like hitting each other, like like those old wooden cubes. Before there were Legos, and for people who didn't have Legos, like us, well, I didn't have any for a long time. There were like actual cubes in various shapes very geometric shapes that were made out of wood, and they sounded really funny when you bumped one into the other because it's wood. Anyway, that's I was on to Ian's work. I saw Inspector Waffles. Yeah, we're gonna talk a bit about more about Inspector Waffles, but after this, tell me a little about the technology behind Antennae Dilemma. So you're using Unity for
Yes,
this one?
I'm using Unity, and like I said, it's the same framework with the Inspector Waffle, and I started to make it. Oh, I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. No, maybe 3 years ago, I think, maybe less. And I started from scratch. I don't use any asset. I just wanted, because I'm a dev. Okay, so that's important, I think. So I'm a dev in my day job. So I wanted to do it from scratch. I know there is an asset. I know there is a lot of things for helping game maker to make game easily, faster. But really, I wanted to start from scratch. So I started from scratch, and so I'm using Unity, and that's all for the code part, and all the drawing were made with Marmoset Excel. So it's a pixel art tool. It's not the most common. Most of the people use Sprite, but I don't know. I'm like this one, and I don't know. I think I can make the pixel art I want with this one. So I'm using Marmoset Excel. It's really good. It's a really good tool.
Yeah, the result is lovely, and
Thanks.
the big upgrade with 16:9, the ratio. That's also really great to see. I think that's one of the, and with Inspector Waffles too. But that's another thing. I think it really adds to the overall feel of the game. I like that. I mean, if you have the widescreen, you want to see everything. That's you want the whole monitor. Yeah.
Yes, and so with Inspector Waffle, I use Marmoset Excel too. And when I started the jam, I didn't have time to start to use a new tool, so I used the same. So it's maybe, I don't know if it's the same art style, but it's the same tool I used. It's kind of different art, I think, but I'm using the same tools, the same software with both games.
And did you upgrade anything since the game jam version? Did you add anything, maybe a new style, anything like that? Anything that you learned around? Yeah.
I changed the dialog box system. I changed the dialog system too. I made it easier to use. No, that's all. Not a lot. I think I changed the loading screen. It's not very interesting, but yeah, I changed it.
Oh, still.
But I changed also something about the localization too. It will be easier to translate Antennae Dilemma in French, for example. Everything is set in code. I just need to actually translate the dialogues into French. Right. That will be easy for me. That's not the most difficult part, but it will take some time. There are a lot of dialogues. For a small game, there are a lot of text.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is an adventure game, so yeah.
Yes.
Characters will blab on quite a bit. In terms of different platforms, what are you thinking? What can you do and bring Antennae Dilemma to multiple platforms?
Steam, itch.io, and GameJolt the same day.
And that's for Windows only or Mac, Linux too?
It's Windows only for the it's Windows only right now, but maybe in 1 month it will be Mac and Linux. but we need to test it on the other platforms first. But yeah, it's with Unity, it should be without any problem, but we never know. So we need some people to test because I don't have Linux and I don't have a Mac, so I will need some people. But yeah,
Wait,
so
did
I
you
will
say
ask
you don't
later.
like them?
No, I don't have. Sorry, I'm a bit sick.
Oh.
I have,
Because it's like there's some people who actually like them. It's like,
no.
what are you saying? It's my favorite.
Sorry. No. Actually, I can talk about that a little bit. And
Yeah,
for
please.
Inspector Waffle, I did share a Linux version and a Mac version, and I got some medias who talked about it, and they said, "Oh, so this game is coming to Mac too." It was good that they don't forget our platforms, and I was surprised and was really it helped me to get some visibility. So yeah, definitely I will add some version too because even if in numbers it's not a lot of players, I think there are really cool communities, and I want to share the game to everyone.
So any intentions, any thoughts about other platforms, consoles, the Switch maybe? I could probably see Antennae Dilemma on the Switch. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It just
I would like.
it kind
Yeah,
of
I
seemed
would
like a
like
good
to.
fit.
But when it will be finished, because now it's impossible because it's too short, and for the Switch it would be great if the game will have 3 hours, 4 hours of gameplay. Right now it's 1 hour, so it's a bit short because it's hard to sell on Switch when it's so short like that. It would be like if it's $5, it's too expensive, in my opinion. So maybe to 10. No, sorry, it's $10 is too expensive. It's $5. I don't know. I don't know. I prefer to wait to
yeah.
finish the game because the game is not over, and then we will think about it.
Have you gotten in touch, contacted any publishers for this, or did you want to self-publish on Steam?
Oh, self-publish.
Like that was really?
Because yes, because it was supposed to be a small game, and if there are sequels, maybe I will try to find a publisher to put the game on other consoles like Switch, like PS, like Xbox. I don't know. It will be very interesting for us to have a publisher. But again, when the game will be fully released with all the sequels, because if you want to share the games on on the platform, and the game is free, and well, it's kind of useless if you share the game on other platform for free too. So maybe it works well with DLC on PC because people are used to pay for DLC for adventure games. First chapter could be free, and second chapter you have to pay. It's not uncommon, but for console it's weird, especially for Switch. I don't think there is a game like that for that. Yeah, a game like with DLC on free, and then DLC you have to pay to continue the game. It doesn't fit to the Switch, in my opinion.
So,
of course.
Okay. So what are you thinking in terms of sequels? Like, would you want to make it episodic, or what? How would Antennae Dilemma, advance from this build on?
Episodic, yes, and but how many episodes? I have no idea. I have really no idea right now. It could be 1, it could be 2. I need to write the next episode. I don't know right now.
Well, how many sides does a cube have, and make it that number of episodes? That's very. Why not?
So to say the truth, I know what will happen. I already thought about it, and I know what will happen. I was close to the spoiler, but I didn't. Yeah, so I know it's written. I have the main part of the story, but I don't have all the puzzle. I don't have how they go to this place, how they. I don't know. I can tell because I have to make it. So it will take some time to write it, and then we will. I will know how many episodes we will create.
Okay. So, well, let's talk a little bit about the actual release and the DLC specifically, right? So the game is coming out. It's gonna be free. What DLCs will you offer, and what price, will they be at?
So two DLCs. One is the soundtrack that Philip made. We didn't share the price, but I think I can do it right now. It will be $4. So when we will update the game, we will update the soundtrack too, obviously.
Yeah.
And so if you like the music, for me the music is really good, but I hope people will say the same. And so you can buy the Philips soundtracks. And the other DLC is a supporters pack. Sorry, it contains a lot of stuff we used during the making of the game. So let me check. I don't want to forget anything. So, sorry for that. So we have documents like the fun facts. So we like what was the inspiration, what like the phone numbers, they mean something, or some kind of fun fact like that. That's the inside of the game. They also have to become a supporter on the Discord. There are some GIFs and screenshots from the early games. There are wallpapers. There are some fan art. A lot of things, a lot of little things like that. It's really cool if you want to see the inside of the game, and if you want to have wallpapers also, because some people want wallpapers. So I made.
Do you have a list of puns that the game has in them? Because there are a lot of puns. And that would be nice to have. Like, this is these are all the puns that are in the game. Like, did you discover all of them?
So, for example, I can tell you what's one of the fun facts about the pun. So I'm just reading what you can find on this DLC. So it's about the Rambox 1. You found on a bin, you found a candy sweet. I don't know what's game sweet.
Yeah, with a joke.
Yes. So that's what is written in this supporters pack. It's written Carambar is a French rectangular candy famous for its terrible joke inside the wrap. It's a little tribute for French people, because in French we have these candies, and it's really something I wanted to share. And I like these candies, and inside it's really, really, really bad jokes. And so only French people can understand this one when they are playing, but that's a little inside.
Yeah.
Another one, it's the 3 number you are trying to solve right now. It's a date, actually, and it's a date of when the company was created, the Goloso Game Group.
Okay.
So yes, it's a kind of fact you can find inside inside this DLC. And the price, it's $2. It's really a little help for us to make games. That's all.
So are you already working on the next episode, or are you waiting to see the response to this release?
Right now I'm taking a break because the last week was intense, and
Yeah.
we worked a lot with Philip to make really a game without bugs. We hope that there's no bugs anymore, and we did a lot of last minute change, like music, the sound effects, and I had some new text. I changed a little things, like very last minute job. So right now the game is out in 4 days. So right now it's a break. I'm having a break for the next day.
Break
2 weeks.
from everything, or from Antennae Dilemma in
No, for everything.
particular?
For everything.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of clip adventure game to play, so So just from making game, but not from the video games. And yes, after that I will be back on Waffle, and I think depending of the audience will say about the Antennae Dilemma, I could write the sequel maybe really soon. And maybe we'll start to make the sequel very soon too.
Well, so you're taking a break, but since we're, in the second half of April, and
Yes.
usually the Adventure Jam is in May, right? Did they announce anything about that? Are you thinking of participating again?
Okay, it was. I already started to write a story about Adventure, a project for Adventure Jam.
Yeah.
I already made mock-ups for a game, but I'm not going to do it. I changed my mind because
Why?
I have to finish Waffle. I really need to finish it, and I've just finished a project right now with Antennae Dilemma. I want to make a sequel. So if I'm making a sequel, if I have to finish with Waffle, and if I have a new project to do, it's not healthy to start a new project. So it's ready. I really almost wrote everything about it, like the puzzle, like the story. I like it. So maybe I will keep it for next year. I don't know. I will see.
Or integrate it somehow in the next episode of Antennae Dilemma. Some things might, be brought in to the fold.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, it's better to stay focused.
So, okay.
So, I'm kind of sad, to be honest, but
that you won't participate?
Yes, I'm really, really kind of sad because I like this idea. I'm not talking about it because it's just a project in my mind right now. But yeah, I really like the idea. It's a very short game, adventure game, and I like the story. It's something kind of different of what I already did.
Well, you know what? I mean, obviously you're not tied to a game jam, so maybe not now, let's say, but in 2 months, 4 months, right? If things go well, why not just make it? No game jam just make it, release it, on Steam, why not? Or, wherever you want, Edge.io, Game Jolt, I mean, why be constricted to the date, right? If you're passionate about this idea and you want to do it, but you can't do it like exactly at the time when the Adventure Jam happens, do it in September or August or, whenever you want, and you find the time,
Yes, it's true, but I have already a notepad with, I don't know, 5-6 adventure games ideas. And just about adventure games, I have also other idea for other games. So yeah, yeah, I don't have time to do all my ideas, unfortunately.
Well, that's it's a trade. You have limited time, you choose what to do, and at the end of the day, you should feel good about the choices that you make. So, because you said, we mentioned quite a bit Inspector Waffle, so do you want to tell everyone a little bit about that one?
Sure.
what the game is about? Because it's technically a bigger project than Antennae Dilemma, right?
It is a biggest project, and it's let me. Sorry, I lost your. I want to see you playing at the same time. Yes. So yes, it's a point and click adventure, but this time with cats and dogs, and like anthropomorphic cats and dogs. They are talking. They're just they're cats and dogs with real jobs. And
you can say it's furries. You can say that it's a game about furries.
Yeah, I can say that. It's true. So it's a game about furries. Yeah, and it's actually a detective game in which we follow the story of Inspector Waffle with a cat detective, and you are called to go to a crime scene because you need to find out who killed Fluffy, the CEO of Box Furnitures. And when you arrive, the first hints are leading to something bigger than expected. Ta-ta-ta. Yeah, so so it's the idea. It's a point-and-click adventure game, and you have to do some interrogation. So you have to talk to witness, and you have to find the right item or the right clue to share.
Yeah.
And it looks like a nice story with cats and dogs and everything is fine, but actually it's a bit dark. And Waffle is a witty cat, but he's also kind of a bit depressed. He has all the cliche of a detective. And
alcoholic, he can't hold a relationship. He works too much. The work affects him a lot.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
It's difficult. Yeah, but that was something I wanted to do, like something with a very light palette with a lot of colors, but with a darker story than that you can expect.
It's a darker theme. There's a murder. Obviously, your character is not just a cartoon, detective. He has his own problems. His past. Some people don't like him. Some people don't trust his judgment. So, because I play, there's a build that you can actually get from Age.io, and it's definitely
in early access. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a different game than Antennae Dilemma. It's more complex when it comes to it's more point and click adventure-y than Antennae Dilemma is. In the sense that you have more characters to talk to, you can combine items together, right, to make new stuff. You have to combine the right things to get to the right, result, and so on and so forth. But it's definitely a bigger thing and bigger project, bigger game, bigger scope.
There is also a big detective part, and you really have to do his job. So you have to understand what's currently happening. Sorry. And what you don't have to make choice, but you have to think about what you have to show to characters, and yes, I think it's harder than Antennae Dilemma, and it's really have a detective aspect. It's a really important aspect for me that you will not find that you can't find in Antennae Dilemma.
Yeah, you have to find clues. You have to use those clues. It's ask questions, specific questions, right? Yes. The right questions, because that's the whole thing about detectives, about noticing things. And maybe someone answers a little bit in a weird way, so you push on that, or you see a pattern and then you go after that. So it's a little bit different. But can you tell us in any any indication as to when that would be coming out on Steam? So it's in early access on itch.io, but it also has. I'm sorry, I forgot about. I didn't put the link to that. There's a link to Antennae Dilemma in the description, but I forgot about because Waffles has a Steam page too. Any indication when that's coming out? Are you waiting to finish Waffles and release it in full, or are you thinking early access on Steam too?
So the idea is to release Inspector Waffles this year, at the end of the year, obviously, because there's so much to do. But the idea is this year, and it's in a good shape right now. And but say there are a lot of new background to do, a lot of new dialogues to write, and so this year and this time it won't be free. Just to let you know, you will have to pay for this one.
Okay, that sounds fair. No, that's not a problem.
Just something. It's kind of the same humor. It's kind of again now you have, it's not a big spoil, but now the boss characters are meeting into Antennae Dilemma, and the two characters are kind of antagonists, and I was inspired of buddy movies, like we talked about 90s movies.
Action,
actually,
action
one
flicks,
of it was one of my inspiration, because these two characters, so the box and the and the sphere are going on adventure together, and they are very different people, very, very kind of opposite people. One is very close to everything, and when the other it's a peace ambassador from another planet. So of course he's very open-minded. And in Inspector Waffle, it's the same. Waffle is a very smart guy, but very, very, very sad, very not optimistic, and he will meet Spotty, who is a dog, and Spotty is the perfect dog you will dream to have. He's very nice, very loyal, very, very happy about everything. You show him food, he's very happy. And that's my main idea for the both games. It's making a adventure game buddy movie. With you follow two people very different, and that's how you make some jokes, because they're very different, and one is funny and the other doesn't understand humor, or have a very different humor. So buddy movies from the 90s was big inspiration, actually.
Well, so that's gonna be it's both in Antennae Dilemma and in Inspector Waffles.
Yes.
Okay, so but in Waffle, just to be clear, you get to spend a bit more time with Waffles alone at the beginning. Although then in this game you spend a lot of time with QB at the beginning, so it's kind of the same thing before they meet. Yeah, and it's actually that's kind of a cute thing. Because you see one character and then you meet the other, and it's like a whole different dynamic to the game. And with Antennae Dilemma, it's one thing that I like is the contrast with the color and everything. It changes everything in like the way you look at the game, the way you see the game, the way you want to approach it. So I think that's I don't know, I like it. So
thanks.
And I'm not gonna spoil more. This is where I'm gonna return to the menu, because I don't want to spoil more. Okay, just for if anyone wants to play, you can find it. The game comes out on the 24th.
Yeah, only 4 days.
4 days. So anything else you'd like to say about Antennae Dilemma? Anything that we didn't cover? Anything that you'd like to say to people?
I took a lot of time to make the achievement, and the achievement I think are interesting to find, and just not giving myself compliments, but I took time to think about that. And for example, there is an alternate ending, or you can use phone to call someone,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
will, and you have a very detailed scene about that. So it's not just click on this object 50 times. Not going to say
Yeah.
which game is that, but yeah, it's
All of them. All of them.
yeah.
Like basically all of them. You're like, hey, congratulations, you clicked 1 billion times on a enemy. Here's an achievement.
So yeah, when I play games, I like to be a completionist. I have to say it, especially in adventure games, and sometimes they are very boring achievements. So I hate it. So it's something I try to avoid, and I think they are cool. And I hope they are cool. And especially I like the alternate ending because you have to be very focused very to the story because it's all of them are you have to not all of them but 70% of them you have to look at what people say, you have to look at the background, you have to look I think it's cool. I hope people will think it's cool. And I like
there are a lot of things to discover. There are a lot of like small things in Antennae Dilemma which either make you smile or make you think of something else. They're references to a game or to something else in real life, right? And again, there are quite a few secrets that you can uncover. So if you like those type of things, finding the small little nuggets of cuteness, I guess. Especially with the numbers, because you find numbers and like, okay, so what do you do with the number? Well, how about you call it? Or, there's a little remote in the menu. What about if you want to use that? I wonder what that will do, So there's a lot of interactivity in the game.
We can do one right now, if you want. It's not a big spoil.
Yeah.
So go out. Yeah, go out.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, out of the game or out of
No, out of the house. So yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Go out of the house. So it's my fault. Continue. Yeah.
It's okay.
So sorry.
Wait, one second. Let me just read this.
Call call 21 at 02.
Don't you call the people because our antenna's not working.
Yeah, 21. Yeah. Actually, it's my birthday, so it's easy for me to remember.
That's you're on the internet, right? Like you shouldn't dox yourself. Like that's. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but if you don't know it, I know it's very easy to test your game if you know this kind of if you have this kind of tricks. Because it's very easy to remember. You don't have to check. Okay, so for example, this one's perfect. You go to check the pizza. You can call the pizza. And you to get a pizza. So yeah, what should I do? What should you do? So, call for a pizza.
Right.
This one is an easy one, but it's
right. So we got the number from the billboard, which it's a small thing. You may even pass it over, but if you do check everything, like including that billboard, we have 7499, and we reach Papa's Pizzeria. Okay, when I say Papa, I mean Papa C371856 because obviously all the cubes have numbers.
And so you can call the pizza and ask for a pizza. So and it's and you get an achievement for that. It's this one is it's one of the easiest. I think maybe the easiest to get, but
and of course you won't get the pizza because everyone's watching their favorite show and they're not delivering, obviously.
Yes, and it also adds depth to the story.
You know what? I really wanted pizza now. Never mind. That's
me too.
That's a little disappointing. I mean, what can you do? I guess. But you know what? People want their shows, and it's a big thing. It's a big thing, and hopefully in the next episodes, because I really want to see more Antennae Dilemma. I really hope we'll get to see more of the shows and more talk about that, because I mean, obviously there's some sort of propaganda in them, and they're made in a specific way. They can't just be like regular shows that, you know, everyone sees. They have to be probably screened and approved by censors and all that. So it'd be really cool to see, you know, some weird storylines, you know, like people talking, oh, do you remember the last episode of whatever of Game of Cubes? How that person, you know, how that king killed, you know?
I don't want to spoil, but it's probably not something about TV, the next episode. It's more about what's happening. What is happening on this planet?
Yeah.
Why? And did you notice that both characters have something in common in the game?
What, feet and legs?
No. I'm talking about mind. There's something in the mind. They both like something. Did you notice?
I don't think I got that. I don't think I got that. Maybe pizza? Because everyone likes pizza.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes, that's
really?
Pizza. Yeah, because he likes pizza.
Yeah, but that's an easy one. Everyone likes pizza.
It's it's because pizza can be round and can be square at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but they can be.
Yeah, that's true. You can have it in any shape and size almost. You can have it 3D. You can have it. Yeah, that's true. I think is this game like a whole like commercial for pizza? Like, come on, you can say it. They have like a deal with Domino's or something, or with Pizza Hut, and you're getting a lot of money to put. No, okay.
You got
Are you sure? Are we sure? Are we going to see like a Pizza Hut ad in the full release on the 24th? You're going to update it and you're going to put those all over the game? Come on, you can tell us. It's fine.
I'm sorry, and I don't like so much pizza and Domino's pizza. I have to be honest.
Don't say that. You're not going to get the sponsorship like that. Jesus.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I don't want sponsorships.
But come. Yeah, right. Because you don't need some money. Come on, Domino's has some money. Yeah.
I only want to be sponsored by Napolitan Pizzeria. It would be like awesome. Like, oh my god, they just have the
really.
Name,
I don't know them. Really?
No, just not famous one. Just the one I know, the one I like.
Oh, you wanna? Okay, so that's so okay. So if everyone buys,
we are playing of big pizza. Yes, we are.
If a million people buy the support pack, the DLC for Antennae Dilemma, are you actually going to buy a pizzeria?
Yeah,
1 million. Are you actually going to buy that pizzeria that you said?
Yeah. If I have 1 million, I would say I will quit my job. We didn't talk about that, but I have a day job. With 1 million, I will quit my job and I will focus on games. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it won't happen.
Only pizza
so
games.
I don't. Yes, I will. I will do only pizza games.
I mean, why not? There are not enough pizza games. Let's be honest. There are not enough pizza games in the world. So especially. Ones that take pizza seriously, like this one. Because pizza's part of the world.
I have a game about pizza and burgers, and I can tell. But if one day it's not an adventure game. If one day I'm doing it, it will be awesome.
It's a cooking game.
I can't talk about it because it's I just have mock-ups and text about game mechanics. So
it's the Dark Souls of cooking games.
Yeah, no, it's not.
If you don't make burgers and pizzas, all right.
It could be addictive, like Cook Serve Delicious. It would be great. But it's just a concept I have. But it would be awesome.
Adventure Jam 2020. I mean, who knows? Or it's not you said it's not an adventure game, so never mind.
It's not an adventure game.
I wanted to pet the turtle, so this guy says in the chat he wanted to pet the turtle. He or she, sorry. You never could made me sad. Yeah, it is sad, because, when you feed the turtle, it is a vigilante, so it's supposed to be kind of like a guard.
Yeah, it's
guard
very
turtle.
It's a box turtle vigilante, you can see it, yeah. And yes, I would
they're
like
vicious.
to pet the turtle too, but it's as you can see, there's not a lot of animation, so it's a bit difficult. But it was a choice I made at the beginning.
I mean, they're cute, but they're like service dogs. You're not supposed to pet them. 'Cause it's like a guard dog. It's a guard turtle. You're not supposed to pet them. They don't like that specifically. They can't interact with people like that. So it's unfortunate, but that's what happens.
And
if you see service
about
dogs.
something I didn't talk about in the fact you can find in the supporters pack. It's about the box turtle. I wanted to do a vigilante animal, and I have no idea. I just wanted to make a pun, and I have no idea. So I was thinking about, I don't know, like a dog and something with a pun word with dog, and I didn't find. I say, okay, so let's check on the internet box animal, and I found box turtle. I said, this is real. It's a real name for an animal, box turtle. So yeah, so it's
Really?
yes, it's a kind of turtle you can find in America.
Okay, so we can say that Antennae Dilemma is based on real events.
Yes, it's based on what I found sometimes on Google.
I mean, that's, if the turtle... Really, and box turtles, you know what? I'm gonna look that up after this, because I really want to see how box turtle looks like. Because I'm sure it's not like a freaking, box or anything like that. But turtles are kind of cute, so...
Yes, but this one doesn't look like a box turtle. They look like what I can do with, literally a box turtle. Really. And...
How do you draw a box turtle? You make a box,
I don't know.
then you put
It was one of the hardest things I have to draw, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea how to draw a box turtle.
Well, there's no box dog, right?
Yes.
There's no dog that looks like a box, so... I mean, then again, a San Bernard kind of looks like a big, huge, furry box. Maybe. Kind of.
But it doesn't, if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense like that a turtle is a vigilante. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's...
I mean, it can't go that fast, so if you have the box turtle vigilante on the streets, and there's a lady that crosses the street, and there's a mugger, and he goes and takes her purse, and she screams, "Help! Help! Vigilante turtle!" That turtle's not gonna run after the thief, because they don't go that fast. What can I say? They can snap really well, and they could take your hand off, but when it comes to running, nope.
This is exactly the not the problem, but what happened during a game jam, because you don't have time to think about it. So you just does I have a better idea? Do I have a better idea than a box turtle? No. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. Sorry. And I didn't find a better idea during the game jam. So okay, but I like it. Well, right now, 6 months, almost 1 year later, I can say, yeah, okay, that's fine. That's not the worst idea I got.
No, it's actually not. And, you can expect box turtle vigilante plushes in stores, this holiday season. In France, probably. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Jan has any contracts for international delivery, but at least in France, you will be able to get an exclusive limited edition box turtle vigilante for only $49.99 plus shipping. €4, obviously.
Now it will be awesome. If I can do plushes, it will be Inspector Waffle or Spotty. Definitely. It will be awesome.
Yeah, but wait. You're telling me you're not going to make any Antennae Dilemma plushes if you can? Come on.
If you can, I will do, but...
They're adorable! You would make the QB and the... I mean, really? Come on, they got together so cute. I mean, with the turtle.
Yeah, I would like, but yeah, again, it's a free game. If with Inspector Waffle...
Wait. Fortnite is a free game? What are you saying? Come on! Apex Legends is a free game. You can make money from a free game. You can make merch from a free game.
Yeah, I should add loot boxes to Antennae Dilemma.
I mean, you know what? That kind of died out a little bit. Yeah. You've seen it's a little bit like, I mean, even EA, who pretty much, popularized it. It was like, hey, look at this new game, Jedi whatever order. This is not gonna have loot boxes, the thing that we wanted to put in every single game that we made. And it's like, wait, so you're the people who promoted it, and now you're saying that it's a great thing that you don't have loot boxes? I'm sensing hypocrisy around here. So it's good. Antennae Dilemma, no loot boxes. Confirmed.
Yeah, no loot boxes, yes.
No loot boxes, no DLC for customization. No cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, I really hate it, and I will never. You can record my voice right now. I will never do something like that in any games. I hate it. I don't understand.
Paid? You mean paid cosmetics?
Yeah, recently my personal experience.
That's what we want. Yeah.
I bought a Lego Avenger Heroes, something like that, with a season pass, because I love Lego games. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm 9 years old actually, and I love.
Who doesn't like Lego games? Everyone likes Lego games. They're good from 8 years old to 87.
I love them, and this was a good game, and I got the season pass with all the DLC and so on. So I played the game. I got all the achievements except one, the one with Ant-Man, because it's not in the season pass, and I have to pay just for one achievement, like $3 or $4.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, this is. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, Warner. I have no idea why they did that. Anyway, it's something I really hated. So I will never do something like that in any games.
That's so sneaky.
Yes, exactly.
Like you can't have that achievement unless you have the specific thing that you only get through DLC, a paid one.
Yes.
Wow.
But it could happen. That's okay. If you sometimes you can, it could happen. I'm okay with that. But I don't understand why when you have a season pass, it means you got all DLC, and you don't have all DLC because there are just some special DLC. And yeah, anyway, just this.
Well, it's like an Animal Farm. Like in Animal Farm, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. When it comes to gaming, it's like all season passes are equal, but not
and it's Ant-Man.
Some are more equal than others. So.
It's Ant-Man. Who care about Ant-Man, really?
Really? Oh yeah, that is true actually. Like if you would make any character that you would, force. Actually, that might be the truth. So Ant-Man must be the crappiest and most hated character, and that's why they put him behind a paywall, because no one in their right mind would care about that guy unless they had to be forced to pay or something.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. So yeah. Anyway, about about Antennae Dilemma. So
yeah.
So we will have more DLCs for the sequel when we will do it, and that's all. I think we'll update the supporters pack and the soundtracks with what we will do on the next one about our next work about the sequel. So more tracks, more insight. But that's all. And for Waffle, it's too early to talk about it. So right now, just I'm trying to finish the game. So yeah. So and we'll see what will be about. But no loot boxes in Inspector Waffle. I don't. No.
Unless you get signed by Epic Games and you're gonna launch exclusively for a year. The Inspector Waffles on the Epic Games Store, and it's gonna have loot boxes.
Yeah, maybe
for cats. Loot cubes, actually.
To talk about that, yeah, maybe I will try to find a publisher later for Inspector Waffle. Maybe I could find one. I have no idea, to be honest. It's very hard to find a publisher when you do adventure games because it's such a niche, and it's you have the player who like adventure games, who play a lot of adventure games, but most gamers don't play adventure games. But the adventure game community is very strong, so you make game for them, not for everyone. I don't know if I'm very clear, but yeah. So
yeah, No, I totally understand. Sorry, I'm just reading in the chat. So this, then she says, pay-to-play games is one of the reasons, the biggest reasons we moved to indie games at our house. Indie games still allow creativity of the developer, true, to shine, allow the games to still be fun. Yeah, I mean,
she's right.
When your main thing or your biggest driver is how much money you can make from a product, everything about that product is going to be negatively impacted by that goal. So you have to make it the cheapest possible to sell the most things. And that means you're going to cut corners somewhere. That's with every single thing that you do. And it's worse when it comes to art. If you want a good painting, you're going to have a very talented person work for a lot of hours and be paid a lot of money to make a really good, painting. If you want a crappy painting, just like, really quick, then, you cut corners with all those. But yeah. And when it comes to games in general, the most innovation you'll get from indie games or from smaller studios. So yeah, that's true. I agree.
Well,
I mean, you'll never see a game like Antennae Dilemma coming out of EA.
These days. These days.
Well,
these
okay.
days.
Well, even
maybe
well,
not
even
10 or 20 years ago, but these days, yes.
No, but even in the past. Because, for example, let's say any big franchise that exists right now, when it was launched, how big was the company that launched it? I mean, I'm not saying that, I'm just thinking this is like a thinking exercise for everyone who knows a little bit of gaming history. I'm thinking Eidos, it wasn't that big, right? When in 95, it wasn't like an established publisher. The only thing that I could think of, but not even Westwood, when they came out with Dune, they weren't bought by EA back then, so it wasn't the biggest company. Or id Software. id Software wasn't big when they made the Wolfenstein and then Doom. They grew bigger after that, and they were bought by Bethesda. So I'm not really sure if there's any major publisher or developer that revolutionized. You know what? Maybe Blizzard is the only one. Maybe the Blizzard is the one. They didn't necessarily innovate with World of Warcraft.
The one who did The Witcher, I would say.
Yeah, but they weren't a big company. Like when they started, when they made The Witcher, they weren't a big company. I think probably Blizzard is an exception, because when they made World of Warcraft, which, let's be honest, that put them on the map on like everywhere. That made Blizzard a huge amount of publicity and money and all that. And they were big before that because they had StarCraft, they had Warcraft 2, the Warcraft series, they had the Diablo and Diablo 2. And World of Warcraft came after that, and then exploded even more. With EA, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm really thinking of a game that really impacted, that was innovative, and it had a major impact, and it was published by EA. Maybe Sims.
Yeah,
that's Maxis. Because Sims was big, right? And when Sims the first Sims came out, I think in 2000.
Yeah, but it's Maxis.
Yeah, Maxis developed it, but they were owned back then by EA, so maybe, but very little innovation from AAA studios, because I don't think they can gamble that much. I don't think they can take risks as much. So anyway, it's what it is. Buy indie games. If you're interested in indie games, check out my channel, because I mostly cover indie games. It's the best channel out there.
I'm actually okay.
After PewDiePie.
Can talk about indie adventure games if you want, because I really because we talk about a lot of my games, but we can talk about adventure indie game. That's there are a lot of very cool projects to follow, and don't miss it. It's most.
You want to plug? You want to plug other people's stuff? Tell me.
Yeah, why not? Because
I'm all for it. Like, let's plug everything. Like, so tell me. Okay, so now you're on a little vacation. As Antennae Dilemma comes out on the 24th. Link in the description below. We're gonna plug it more. Tell me, what are you, in terms of indie games or anything? What are you looking forward to? Is there anything that you want to play right now that you haven't played, or are you looking forward to anything?
It will be easier.
Sure.
Okay.
Because for me, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So let me check.
And yes, support your indie devs. That's true. Support them, because they are they're working very hard. They're very talented. A lot of them, most of them are very talented, and they make awesome products. And they're most of them are pretty cheap. The products that they sell, they don't want freaking $60 for this stuff. Not even $40. Not even $20 in a lot of cases, which is amazing to me. But that's
Sorry. You are sorry. I didn't want to.
No, please. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm yeah.
So recently, I played Windswept. I didn't finish it yet. I played a lot of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very good game. It's funny because with the developer of the game, we launched our demo quite at the same time. Me for Inspector Warford and him for Windswept. And it's a really, really cool game. And did you play it?
I played it. I finished it. If anyone's interested, you can check out the channel for that. It's a really cool game. It actually had an Indiegogo campaign that was successful, and I also contributed to that. I supported on that because I really wanted to see the game. And I think it's the developers from
India.
Iran or like India or something. Iran or India, yeah. So yeah. So he doesn't come from like a Western rich country background or anything like that. But amazing work. Absolutely amazing work.
Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't finish it yet, but it's hard to find a game with so many feelings in it. Not going to spoil anything, but he put a lot of his heart to do this game, and it's really, really, really cool.
It's an emotional experience, definitely.
Yeah, I saw there is a loose band in the chat, and she's working on a game named Vape Escape. I think you played it too, this one. And
I know Vape Escape. Yeah.
Yes, and she worked on it, and it's a free game you can find on Steam, and it's really cool. And I discovered it because they were featured by Humble Bundle, and I loved it at the first sight. It was very, very very creative, very imaginative. So really, if you have it just went out. It was out. I think 1 month ago. So you can find it on Steam for free if you never played it. It's really cool.
Yeah, it initially came out with a Humble Monthly. I think maybe in December or November, and I think last month it came. Yeah,
maybe way before that, and really, really, really cool.
Yeah, but it was last year, right? Like when it came out on Humble. I think last year it was. It wasn't this year.
Yeah,
I think.
Yes. I can't tell it was, but it was at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, but you can.
5 months ago.
Right, you can find it on Steam too. Yeah.
I played.
Vape Escape.
I was lucky to try the Backbone prologue. This one you didn't play.
Which one?
Backbone. 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 The raccoon.
I didn't play that one yet, but it's in development right now.
I was because I was lucky to try it. So.
Okay. That's coming right from a team in Canada.
I know some people. No, it's just lucky to.
No, they're Russians from Canada.
Yeah, they're Russian in Canada, and
which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, but I'm mostly Russian. In Canada, I think. So even in Canada, they are Russian, but I'm not sure of that. I think they're all of Russian, but not.
With Trudeau as a prime minister, every part of the world is going to be in Canada, so it's no problem. No, like if you're like, oh, what? There's like someone from Zimbabwe or from New Zealand in? Yeah, that's fine. It's like everyone's welcome there right now.
Yeah, it's true. I went to Canada 3-4 years ago. It's a very open-minded community. There are a lot of foreign people. It was close to say stranger because in French we say étranger, stranger. It's
Well, did you go to the French zones of Canada, to Toronto, or?
Very interesting.
Yeah, of course.
It's very interesting for French people to go there because I have a very.
I hear it's quite different. Like if you go outside of.
Yeah, but not very. But it's the way of living which is very different. But the accent is very. uncommon for
Heavy?
us, and sometimes it's
Really?
not very easy to understand. And it's cool. They're really cool people. Yeah. Anyway, so Backbone, I tried the prologue and it was really really cool, and you really the art is fantastic, and it's going to be a really cool game. So check that. Backbone.
Yeah, successful Kickstarter, right? It had a successful Kickstarter, and I don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah, very successful.
Later this year, I think. I think it's coming out later this year. And
last year, I think it was in the summer.
no. I mean when it comes out, the game. I think it's coming out. I think it's planned for this year, right?
There's a free demo which is coming out soon.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna play that
like,
then.
1 hour. I tried this one. It's like Antennae Dilemma. It's 1 hour play of playing, and after that there's the real game. It's later this year or maybe next year. I can't tell. So yeah, so you should try this one. I tried also last one I can talk about. Okay, I can
Arthur
talk.
Chance and no, not that one.
I didn't try the recent one, like a Whisper of Machine, something like that, or
Whisper of a Machine. Yeah, it's actually really interesting. It's a really interesting game.
I heard very good review about it. A lot of people say I should try it. So.
Yeah, I would recommend it too. It's a sci-fi post-AI point-and-click adventure game. Really interesting. A really cool story, like Minority Report type of sci-fi.
With the detective aspect, yes, and you can upgrade your mind or some stuff like that. Yeah. So, and one last game I can talk about. I tried this year. It's Four Last Things. It's fantastic. It's a game everyone.
Four Last Things?
Yes. You should.
I don't know that one.
You should play it. You should. It's it's amazing.
Is it out?
Oh yeah, it was out last year. For that thing.
Okay, I don't know.
It's an adventure game.
So many games.
Yeah.
I have like 2,300 videos on the channel. It's like, yeah, I don't know that game. It's like there's so many freaking games coming out. That's awesome.
It was out in 2017, so it's but I tried it last month, and it's fantastic. Really, you should absolutely play this one. It's one of the funniest adventure game I ever played. It's a guy who make an adventure game with.
Oh, I know that's where he.
Yes,
right, he takes medieval art and he cuts it up and he makes. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Isn't he making another game right now? Like with the same.
With the same
idea,
technique. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's a cool guy. I met him, and he's like his game. It's very funny games. It's very original, and he's crazy. This game is crazy, and I tried the demo of I forgot the name of his next game, and it's very cool. If you like Monty Python games, this is fantastic. And yeah, that's So that's the last adventure game I played. I think. Yeah. I just think I don't forgot any other one. Okay.
Anything that you're looking forward to? Like that's not out yet. That's coming. That you haven't played yet. Give us.
They are. Yeah, of course, but more close there is. Guard Duty, who is releasing.
Guard Duty. Yeah.
Yes, in
25th.
12 days, I think it's, or maybe 13 days, and it's looked very promising, and I hope it will be a success because he's very talented guy. It's again it's one man game.
Yeah,
and there is also the guy from Cloak and Dagger Games who's releasing. I think it's in 2 weeks, 2 or maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. It's Sumatra. I forgot the name of the game. sorry guys.
Yeah, Queen of the. Yeah, I don't remember. I know what the game you mean. Yeah, it's like you are in a jungle and it's.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
But for people who don't know, it's Yandi, Sumatra Fate of Yandi. Okay, so I was close. I'm fine. It's okay. I think it's one of the game who are going to be released very soon. I think.
Yeah, there are a lot of cool. There's definitely, for all the nicheness of it, let's say.
Yeah,
there are a lot of cool games coming out, and
it's true.
Well, yeah, and it's truly, if you are an adventure game player, if you like that genre, there's lots of stuff that you can play, and they're really good. They're quality games, and they're always coming out. So in this genre, hopefully for a very long time, it's not gonna have any issues, providing you with
yes,
new experiences. So,
but it's not, and to say it in not a good way, it's very hard for us, for example, to share the word about Antennae Dilemma, because there are so many games out. And is a Whisper of the Machine was out 2 days ago. Dulakenfe 1 week ago, and I forgot some of that. So it's a lot of big games going out at the same time. It's very hard to be noticed. So yeah,
okay, let's be fair. Whatever game you're playing right now, Antennae Dilemma is coming out on the 24th. It's not a long game. You'll definitely like it. It's a type of game. Okay, think back at one movie in which there is a twist in the story which left you with your jaw on the floor, and it's like, wow, like left you, from your childhood to now. There must be a movie like that. Well, think of that movie and how you felt back then, and that's how you're gonna feel when you play Antennae Dilemma, at least twice. You're gonna feel gonna have that feeling twice. So remember when you've watched, I don't know, The Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment, and at the end you say, like, spoiler, because the movie's like 20 years old, Bruce Willis is dead. He's a freaking ghost. So that's like the big thing that, wow, it's like, and you realize, and then you see the scenes and how it all worked together, and that's a huge thing. That's how you're gonna feel with Antennae Dilemma. That's pretty much what it's what it
very
delivers.
Nice of you to say that, and something true, because some people ask me, like in other interview, just regular players, what was my point and click games inspiration, and I told them not so much actually. Mostly it's all about game design, maybe because I maybe about art or whatever, but not about the story. I don't try to be. It's very hard for me to say I'm inspired by this point and click game. I'm inspired by the point and click game mechanics, maybe, but the story, it's mostly about movies, about books, about comics, and I read a lot of comics book, for example, French one, Belgium one, also American one, and it's clearly I'm more inspired by them than by other point and click games, honestly.
Well, to be fair though, it's like what are you inspired of? Like from everything. Everything, like because with Antennae Dilemma, there's so many pieces coming that you could make a connection to X thing or X movie or X game or X historic event. I mean, look, what dystopia? Well, dystopia has been in literature for quite some time. Cubes are geometric shapes. That's geometry. How old is that? Like 2,000 years or more than that probably. I mean, all of that. The colors, the vending machines. Well, you're like, where did you get the inspiration for vending machines? Well, they exist in the world, so obviously this, there can't be just one thing, right? Like, I don't think that's true with anyone. You can't just be inspired by one single thing, because everything that you are as a person is the result of every experience you've had. So, how can you be inspired by just one thing?
That's true. I'm inspired by a lot of things about
and it doesn't have to be games, only games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not games at all. It's for me, it's very hard to say. I really love
Mm-hmm.
this story. I really love the story of Zelda: Link to the Past. I think this is brilliant, brilliant. It's a fantastic story. It's very interesting to have a dark side of the world. And
Mm-hmm.
for people who didn't play it, play it. It's one of the best games of the world. And but branded click game are all. It's all about um, one person way of telling story, and
Yeah.
that's not very. It's there is no rules. I don't think there are rules. A lot of people say you have to do like this, like that. I don't think there are rules. This is the best aspect of this kind of game. It's write the story you want to tell, not the story that people also tell. And that's why I started to make an Unkick game. I wanted to talk about detective cats, and I wanted to do puns
Mm-hmm.
about a detective cat, and that's all. And I say, okay, let's
Yeah.
do it. The game started. If you for people who don't play it, Inspector Warfare started with the first chapter. It's named "The Dead and Alive Cat." Of
Mm-hmm.
course, it's a reference to the Schrödinger cat, but that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so for a detective game, it would be funny to have a character with dead and alive, like the Schrödinger cat, and that's all. I started to write a story like that, and for me, it was really really cool to have nothing to say. Okay, should I check if someone has written already a story about a cat
Yeah.
detective or whatever? So yeah,
Just go
so
do it. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's not. Well, maybe some mechanics are similar, but in terms of the story, you can tell any story you'd like, and
yeah,
it's going to be a personal one depending on how many people work on the game and everything. And it's other than that, it's like, what are your restrictions? You
mm,
don't have to put X character. You don't have to have, I don't know, this type of dialogue. You don't have to have this type of setting. You don't have to have even humor. You don't even need humor in an adventure game.
it's
Although
true.
that seems to be
You
like a
can do
like a
something
something that,
very
yeah,
dark, very
yeah.
sad. It's okay. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of games do use
it's like
that, but
writing a book. Yeah, it's like writing a book. You write the
there's no
book.
script.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
And it exists rules about how you should do puzzle, how you should do whatever. And it's written. It's Ron Gilbert, I think, did something like that. I think he made an
Really,
article.
he wrote something.
Yeah, I think so. How he was inspired for making his game, and you can read it. It's interesting. But for me, it was interesting. But it's really something I really don't want to be inspired, because I don't want to do a game like him. I want to do a game
Yeah.
like I want to do a game, like the game I want to play. And this is,
Yeah.
if you do a game because you think, okay, if I do a game like this, it will be good for people. I will sell a lot of copies. And if you would think about game like people already did for bad reason, and that's a terrible idea to do. You have to do the game you want to play, and if it's not like the rules, who cares? You do
Yeah.
like you want.
Yeah. You do you. That's that's because there's no formula. That's what people. Well, a lot of people. Man, a lot of people. Whoever. There's no formula for making something good. There's no formula for making something that lasts a long time in people's memories. There's no formula for, you could do a horrible thing and become part of history, and you can do an amazing beneficial thing and become part of history. There's no, and then there's the middle ground between, these two extremes. So you can have an impact in many ways. That's, there's not, this, in order to get this, you have to go on this path. No, there's like a billion paths pass to every single, location out there. There's not all roads lead to Rome. Well, guess what? That's what people were saying when Rome was the center of the universe, but it was the center of their universe. If you went like 1,600 kilometers, maybe 50,000 kilometers to the freaking east, then all roads led to Beijing, because that was the center of the Chinese universe. So it's like, depending on your perspective. You just do what you want to do, and you'll be. I think it's important to be genuine. If you do something genuine and you believe in it and you're passionate about it and you're truthful about it, great. And people will gravitate. There might be like 100 or 1,000 people, but there will be people who gravitate towards that.
For me, the most important is to have passion when you do something, and it works with video game. It works with everything. If you want to create something, you have to do it with passion and not for something else. Even if you sometimes, of course, you stop to believing in what you do because it's hard. It's hard to be an indie game because there are so many indie devs. Because there are so many indie games, and someone you say, why no one care about what I'm doing? Why? It's always hesitating, and after that, I met some people who, I'm not going to name it, who also are indie dev and who are most famous than me. Like you can imagine, like everyone knows their project, and they say, it's hard to be noticed. Why if people don't like what I'm doing? So it's completely human to
feel that way.
Yeah, to feel that way, and so. Yeah, it's the hardest thing when you do games is to always believe in yourself, and that's really something I didn't expect to meet, and it's very hard for me sometimes when you are solo games too. But so fortunately, I sometimes have people who say kind words, and they help me to stay motivated. And I hope people will notice the game, and that's all that matters. I hope everything will be fine. But sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. No, sorry, go ahead.
No, I finished. So that's fine.
No, I was thinking, people who are, like you said, passionate, and they know that you need to be passionate about something. I think they're more encouraging of others. Okay, it's okay to feel that way, and you soldier on through it, and you continue doing what you believe in, and eventually you'll get there, whatever there means for you. I think people who are not invested in anything and don't really care, those are the people who find it the easiest to look at the game and say, oh shit, graphics. I mean, literally, you see comments on the internet about like, oh yeah, World of Warcraft, that's shit now. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, maybe you don't like it, but see, these easy, like, supreme qualifications or something. Or someone may look at Antennae Dilemma and be like, what is this shit graphics? Like, wait, no, really, that's not true.
I really don't care about that, to be honest.
Yeah, good.
It's because sometimes I see some games I think are really, really beautiful. It's hard to say which. I don't remember which one exactly, but sometimes I see a very nice screenshot and people say, it's ugly shit or whatever, and it's terrible because what's the point? What's the point? If you don't like it, if you don't like it, who cares?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it has to be something with like how you feel about yourself and the age. I really think it is. I really think. I mean. It's easier to be mean when you're 14, I think, than when you're 34. And I'm none of those.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that.
No, I really, but purely because of the fact that your brain hasn't finished developing at 14. I mean, I think no, but that's true. That's true. That's something that
I think there are people from every age who can be mean, but that's.
No, but I think it's easier for a 14-year-old brain with its experience and its development stage to have a visceral, quick, negative expression than an older brain with more experience and one that has finished development. I really think biology has a lot of has a lot of a big hand in this. I really think, because you see it everywhere. It's who talks the trashiest. Usually it's, people who are, well, it depends on where you grow up and everything too, obviously, that all those come into play. But it's, as you grow older, I think you can be more, I think you're more careful with words. You're more careful not to say gratuitous, mean things. Like, what do I gain? What's the point of me looking at something that I don't like and expressing that in with a really hard word? Oh, this is crap. This is the worst thing ever. That's something that I never get. People who look at something, oh, this is the worst X ever. Worst games, worst music, worst video, worst whatever, right? How can you say that? Like, how can you be so adamant about something that you don't like? Is it really the worst thing? Have you seen everything? And I think with age you realize that, wait, I really don't know everything in this world. So I'm gonna be a bit more cautious with how I express myself. I don't like this because of this. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is the worst movie ever. Right? Like, who says that? I don't think I've ever said that.
But
yeah.
What I wanted to say, it's you can make a game, but you will never make a game for everyone. That's the main aspect of when you do a game. You will always find people who want what you are doing, so you have to accept it quickly. Because even if they think it's shitty, I'm sure they think, I'm not sure, but I think a beautiful painting that you like, they will find it blunt, sorry. So you have to accept it. It's not, for me, it's not a problem, really. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. It's a hard thing to get used to.
I already have people who say it sometimes. I really don't care, because it's, I'm not going to be a Leonardo da Vinci tomorrow, so that's fine. I do my best. Yeah,
it's okay. There are plenty of people in the world right now that couldn't do 1% of what Leonardo da Vinci has done in terms of artwork, and they will say that whatever he's done, oh, he was just a crappy painter or a crappy sculptor, and he was gay. And that's a bad thing or anything like that, like being like, dude, are you kidding me right now? Like, you know what he had to work with to make all of these amazing things? Like, you try to paint the Sistine Chapel or something, like stuff like that, so it's funny, but people are mean. Some people are mean. I think with age, the computer age has fostered more cognitive dissonance, in my opinion.
I agree.
Probably,
I agree with this.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's, you can connect with things and people who are really far away, but like in terms of, so you can connect with them, but you can't connect with them physically. So they're not in front of you, and that connection makes it a connection that lacks intimacy. The intimacy of being in the same room and breathing the same air and looking into each other's eyes, right? Because that's how you communicate with other people. You look at each other, right? You're next to each other. So if you can communicate with people who are really far away, but you don't have that connection, so it's easy to say crap things about them because you have no connection to them, but you can reach them with words and they can reach you with words. So yeah, that's true. I agree. It's easy to not care about people it's easier to not care about people over the internet because you don't have to interact with them physically. I care more about the people who are around me. I can touch and I can hug and I can, look into their eyes and I can hear their voice. That's a big thing, right? So to hear someone's voice, that creates a pattern, or well, maybe not a pattern, but that creates a connection in your brain, right? That person means something. So when you hear, oh, that person, Jan, right? I see you, like, from now on, right? I'm gonna have your voice connected to your persona. So when I talk to you on Twitter or DMs or anything like that, I'm gonna have your voice in my head. So that's a level of connection that I don't have with other people. No, but that's true, So yeah, yes. And it's easier to dismiss people if you don't have a connection to them, because they don't mean anything to you. And that's not a bad thing per se, but that doesn't mean that you have to treat them worse because you don't know them. Right? It's always going to be a balancing act, because I'm going to care more about my family than I'm going to care about a person who I've never met in Guadalajara. you know, and that doesn't mean I hate that person. That doesn't mean that I don't care about that person at all. It just means that I care more about the people who are closest to me. So, you know, but it's, you know, people are being shit to people who they don't know. It's easy to do that, you know. And yes, that goes to everyone who commented on my videos to say that it's a shit video and I shouldn't make any. Actually, I didn't get that many comments like that, so it's fine. Just probably like 2-3 people who actually said that. It's like, yeah, you should stop making videos. And I'm like, dude, what do you care? Don't watch. It's like, anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Rant over.
Well, you want to
it's not
talk
a rant.
about
It's fine.
something else?
Well, I think we covered most of the things. In terms of, I mean, the game comes out on the 24th. There's more stuff than I showed, that's for sure. So there's going to be more content.
Talk about anything else if you want, but yeah, I'm not.
Well, okay, yeah. Sorry, tell me what.
No, just say I'm not in a hurry. So if you want to talk about something.
Oh, cool. Well, in terms of the, well, I would really like to know. I don't know how much you can talk about it, because I'm really interested in, like, where you are with waffles.
Okay.
Would you? Are you going to? Because since I have the game on itch, right?
Yes.
Are you thinking of releasing another update, like in the next few months? No pressure or anything like that, but I'm just thinking. Or are you waiting to finish the game?
I don't know.
And
I'm thinking
update
about
that.
it. I'm thinking about the new update. It's not ready, but I'm wondering it's not good if I don't know. I'm thinking about it. And
You're still thinking?
Yes. Last month I spent.
You let me know.
Yeah, of course. Last month I spent all my time on working on Antennae Dilemma, so I disconnected. I disconnected a little bit with the waffle, so I have to be again inside the waffle skin, under the waffle skin, and it will take a little time, but not so much because not going to be a big spoil, but at the end of what happened with waffle. He's going somewhere and he's going to a new place, and so I'm working on this new place for a couple of months right now. It has a lot of things. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 witness to interrogate, not just to talk, to interrogate.
Wow, nice. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's
compared to the nice.
Because right now in the game it's only 2, 3.
One technically.
3.
Well,
well,
I consider the neighbor being the biggest witness, right?
Yes, there's a neighbor.
That you.
It is Patience at the beginning, but it's kind of a tutorial to explain.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
There is Pixel in the IKEA.
Yeah.
There is
well, that's not exactly like that's more like you know talking to your colleague than anything else. It's like I'm not interrogating you. I'm just asking you. Yeah.
There is a Mocha which is the warrant woman who let Waffle to warrant. There is Morty with the coroner, and that's all. So it's already 4 or 5, but yes. So right now, next there will be 1, 2, 3, 4.
All cuts? All cuts?
It's all written. And
not all cats? Are all cats or do we have other animals? No spoilers. Okay, so maybe you don't have to say it, obviously. Maybe some are cats.
There are dogs.
Okay.
There are dogs, but it's not a big spoiler. They are mostly dogs. So so we
finally we're getting some dogs. Come on.
Dogs, and yes, that's really. It's a cool part. I think it's interesting.
Obviously, because it has dogs in it. I mean, who doesn't like dogs? Come on, let's be honest.
And it's Spotty who meets other dogs too, so it's kind of funny. You will see. Funny, I hope.
Well, Spotty is cute, so he
Yeah.
seems like more like a simpleton though. It's like
Yeah,
he's not exactly detective material, you know. Like
No.
he's good, like, you know, to direct traffic and maybe smell and get you to a clue or anything like that. But he doesn't seem to be the type of character to put really complex things together. Let's just say that. I don't know. Just maybe that's my idea.
What I wanted to do. Yeah, exactly. And he's he's a good dog, really. It's what you
Oh,
expect
come
from a
on.
good dog.
Who isn't a good dog? I was playing, sorry, unrelated. I was playing a game, and I'm gonna make a video of it. So check back later on the on the channel, because I'm gonna make that. It's a small game made by a team at the games university, and it had like it's only with dogs. And you play a dog and whatever, you talk to other dogs, and one of the lines is like and this dog was a good boy, like every dog. Yeah, because every dog is a good boy. Because dogs are good boys. Well, females, dogs, doesn't matter, but they're good because they're dogs. So yeah.
Thank these days.
I'm just saying, dogs are awesome.
For the canned words. Thanks a lot.
Sorry?
No, I thank
What?
these days in the chat because
Ah.
she said a very nice word.
Oh, because it's another amazing
yes,
game.
so-
It is, and that's why I want to see more of it.
And yes, so yeah, so you will meet dogs, you will meet a lot of interrogation, you will have new
Nice.
characters. I think right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new backgrounds too, so new place to go, like inside this new place, like rooms or mostly rooms or all or some kind of stuff. And yeah, I think it will be a lot of interrogating, so very detective stuffs to do. And so
Lots of interrogation and yeah.
at the end of this part, you have to go to another part. It's not a spoiler, and it's going to be another. It's going to you are going to understand what is happening right now with all of these cats and dogs. So I think it's
so it's a major update. So the next thing is going to be major.
Yeah, major update. And after that, I would say it's maybe 50-60% of the game which is done. So maybe more, because I don't know right now when I'm going to cut the chapter 1 in the story. I'm really thinking about it, and because there are a couple of moments with cliffhangers, with things which happen. I try to make very active stories. I like to when I read books, for example. I don't like when they are like thousands of description and thousand sentence of description, and I think you can see in my game.
Really, you don't like? Yeah, sorry.
And I hate it. I hate it. That when I read a book,
I don't like it.
I really hate, because it's cool, but I like to imagine it, not read what the color of every leaves are, and it's really. Yeah, so you can see in my games that says I'm trying to not add a boring moment. I don't know if boring moment. So I have all of that. So I say all of that because I don't know where I can cut it. Because
right. So it's still right. So you still keep the player on their toes for the next update. Yeah, that's fair. Hi, Black Point. Hello.
Hello, Black Point.
Well, you know what? I mean, I really want to see the next release, but for now, for everyone watching, Antennae Dilemma is coming out next week, the 24th. There's a link in the description if you're interested in it, and you should be. You should be because cute game doesn't take too long to finish. It has some major moments that are gonna leave you very surprised, and you don't really get that much with games. I think probably the last game that shocked me on this level was the reveal in Knights of the Old Republic, if you remember.
Wow.
Because in the first one, and that's I don't know who wrote that story, the team who made it, because it was probably a team at BioWare. That was absolutely fantastic. Seriously, that reveal,
Thanks a lot.
amazing. No, but it's true. It's like those are the two things that I remember when it comes to games in terms of major story, shocks. Those are the two things I remember.
So you're talking about Star Wars, right? No?
The Star Wars, the Knights of the Old Republic, the first Knights of the Old Republic game, where you play as and you know what? We can spoil it. You're freaking Revan, so you're Darth Revan. That's the whole thing. But it's an amazing. I don't know. I really like that story. That really left a mark on me. Let's say, and
so
I kind of say. I mean, after that,
me with my story with Star Wars.
It's the same. No, but it's true. Really nice. It's true. It's the same level. Like, oh my god! It's like, what? How is this? You don't expect it. That's the thing. When you don't expect something, when something doesn't go in a way that you predict it, that's like your brain is like, wait, what's going on? Wait, what? So that's that type of moment really stays with you, I think, because as you consume more, as you play more stuff and you see more movies. I mean, how often are you surprised by the way a story unfolds? Very, very, very little. Very, scarcely. And when you get moments like that, it's a treat. So, yeah, for me, that's a treat.
Yeah, thanks.
It was a really good treat, like last year and this year with the second moment, which is really like shocking. Which is at pretty much at the end of the game, so you have
it's opening a lot of possibility with that moment. Yeah, that's I know. I already told you, but I know what is it. I'm not going to spoil the end, but
of course, no spoilers. Yeah.
I know what will. What's the reason of all of this? What's the cause? What's the consequences? So I know that, but so. It's not very. There are possibilities a lot. So I would be surprised to know what people who think what will happen.
Yes, and for people who play it, leave a review on Steam because that helps. The algorithm recommend the game to other people. So the more reviews, I think there's a minimum limit. But the more reviews a game gets, it can be put into this algorithm where it gets recommended to other people who might like adventure games, and that helps with exposure. If you leave positive reviews, it's more likely that Valve is gonna recommend Antennae Dilemma to someone else who's played, I don't know, Rainswept or something else or another adventure game. Yeah, so positive reviews matter. Well, I think reviews in general, but I think positive obviously because you want positive reviews.
Of course, yes.
But one thing something that I thinking now playing it, I really hope that in obviously the certain sequel or next episode of Antennae Dilemma, you have to have at least one scene where QB sees something that's done and wants to leave a note because something happened. It's like, wait, I need to leave a note. That type of thing.
It's not a big surprise that it will. The both characters now have their own little things like QB with the sticky notes. And it's something which is something will be happening. Sorry, something which will happen because he can't leave anymore like he used to live.
Mm.
And so something will
Yeah,
change.
he's not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Alice in Wonderland type of thing. I mean, QB's eyes are opened as much as your eyes are open at the same time, because you experience it together with QB, right? You know what's going on, and then shock for both of you. So both the player and QB, and yeah, congratulations, you're in a whole new world together, and see what happens then. So
Yes,
that's gonna be cool to see what happens. By the way, unrelated. Like, have you checked Beep, the game that I tweeted about yesterday? I think.
Yes.
The game with.
I commented.
How big of a coincidence is that?
Yeah,
that's so funny. That
funny. Yes.
You're yeah.
Yes, it's.
By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, in Beep, that's a third-person puzzle game developed by I think a team of students. It's like unrelated to Antennae Dilemma, but it's a game in which a ball crash lands with its spaceship on a planet where there are only cubes. I mean, I don't know if they got inspired by Antennae Dilemma, if they saw it, but it's like, that's so funny, and it came out 5 days before Antennae Dilemma is released, so that was kind of funny. It's cute.
Yeah, I never heard of
it's like in the
them,
same universe.
And they probably never heard of me, so yeah, so just a coincidence.
Yeah, that's cool coincidence. It's it's like seeing the Antennae Dilemma a little bit in 3D. It's like,
but
these are the cubes, kind of like that.
It looks great. I didn't watch a video, but it looks great.
I mean, it was pretty polished. There was some things to be tweaked, but other than that, a pretty good puzzle game. No problem. And I think it was like a university project, right? So it's not like they had a lot of time or whatever, but it's still nice work. And there are a lot of games like that come out of these game design universities, which some people might say you don't need those, and that's fair. But there's a lot of talent there, and there's some really good projects that come out of them. So that's very encouraging for the next wave of developers. I think there's a lot of talent coming up, so like more than before, or like more in the sense that you had to learn everything, like who taught you Unity? I mean,
but no one.
Hey, see, exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, so if you had
I started Unity because I knew C#, and that's all. That's how we started, because I used to code in C# at work, and I said, okay, let's do it. That part I didn't need to learn it because I already know. So it started like that.
Yeah, see, yeah, but when people go and from 18, 19, bless you, have go into a class and they're taught Unity and they get to experiment a lot with it, that's a whole different thing, right? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm hopeful for the future ways of hopefully indie games, not only AAA. I'm sure some of them will go to major studios to work, but there's gonna be indie games or smaller studios, not
there
necessarily.
will be more and more indie games, quality indie games. There will be more and more publisher. There will be, but probably less and less AAA games. So,
well, you know what? It's
I don't know.
I mean, the market evolves.
Yes, but I don't know. But I'm not sure. It's I don't know if there will be more and more not AAA games, but AAA companies. I don't think there will be more and more.
I mean,
indie,
given
will
how
stay indie. Indie will stay indie.
Right.
That's what I wanted to say.
The thing with big companies,
no one want to be the next year. I don't think so.
I mean, I like a company that grows up to that level. I don't know. It's hard. It's harder now. I think it's probably harder now to go from zero to a multi-billion-dollar company than it was 25 years ago, maybe.
Yes.
I really it seems like it's harder now because of the competition, the regulation, the whole crap that, you know, especially regulation is fucking crazy, but that's another thing. But yeah, you know what, I don't mind. I don't have any stake in any of these companies, so, you know, if their stock goes down, I'm not affected. If their stock goes up, I'm not affected. I don't really care that much, so, you know, I just want quality games, as many as possible, that will be available to as many people as possible. I think that's the biggest issue that the world has right now. It's distribution. Although it's become better, there should be more, like, easier, you know, more accessible options for every single person out there to publish. I mean, there are, you know, like Itch, Game Jolt, but in terms of platforms where you can monetize, there's not as many. And hopefully, you know, with Epic Games, hopefully that's going to become bigger, but it's not going to be, you know, you're not going to see Antennae Dilemma on Epic Games. I'm not saying that but that's the thing, because they want to make that distinction, right? Not because I would like Antennae Dilemma to be on every game store if possible, if you want it to, right? If possible, then you want it to be cool.
I don't know, because it's a free game, so right now I don't need to be in every platform. But for Inspector Warfare, I will say definitely yes. Antennae Dilemma, it's something I tried to make it free, because I'm not very known, to be honest, and even in the adventure game community. I'm not Wadjet Eyes, I'm not Revolution Software, I'm not it's like that, so it's not a problem at all. But the best way to be known, to get more visibility was to give the first game. It's that was my idea. It's okay. So now people can try it for free. So maybe they say, "Oh, it's good enough. I want to see what
other things."
Yes, that was the plan. To have a free game on Steam and say, "Okay, I have another. Oh, there is another game named Inspector Warfare. Oh, it looks the same. I want to." Okay, that's the plan. But we'll see.
And let's be honest. I mean, probably adventure gamers are probably the people who would enjoy cat games more than like the general population. I'm just maybe. Silence. I just figured that. Yeah, are you still here?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, what did you say?
I guess that thing bombed. Anyway, no, I was saying that, you know, people who like adventure games are probably more likely to enjoy games with cats in them. Is it like more introverted?
Maybe. It's
and
true.
Cats are for more introverted people.
It's really something I didn't think to look for, because if you knew the story of Inspector Warfare, I started a game jam with the theme was cats and or dogs. So that's how it started. I didn't choose to make
to market to
cats and dogs.
I
just started. I wanted to make an adventure game, and that's all. And and the theme was cats and dogs. Okay, so we do, and that's all. And that's how it started. And now I think, maybe it wasn't a bad idea, because it's
definitely not a bad idea. I just I take issue with the amount of for some reason, but probably because I'm more of a dog person. There are way too many games with cats in the central role. I get that. That really bothers me. Because dogs are better than cats. That's like you can't even argue that. It's like, come on, let's be honest. I mean, in terms of you know how they interact with humans. So why would there should be like a billion games with dogs in them? And they're not enough. I'm really disappointed. I think that's because you know a lot of.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
That sounds like cat profiling. Yeah. You know what? I adore every single life form that exists, because it's a life form. But in terms of what would be the best animal to interact with as a human, I think dogs are a better match to humans than cats are. I'm not saying they're bad, but if I would put like on a scale, and I would tell, if I would recommend to anyone what pet should I get, if you can and you have the time and you have the space, I would recommend a dog over a cat. That's it. If you don't have the time, I would definitely recommend a cat. If you don't have the time for a cat, or like, you know, get a fish or a parrot or something. Like, I think it's interaction with animals is very important. And I've had quite a lot of animals growing up, and my first dog had the biggest impact of any animal on me. And I appreciate animals more because she existed in my life. So that's, and I've been around cats too, and I don't think cats are as capable as doing that to people. I'm not saying that they're incapable, I'm just saying it's more likely that you are going to get a good result from interacting with a dog than interacting with a cat. That's you know.
The
cats are full of attitude.
I can say, because I'm making a game with cats and dogs, I can tell. I can say what that really.
I mean, come on, cats are awesome. Cats are absolutely awesome.
I'm sorry, I can tell. I know, I know. My girlfriend knows, and that's all. No, I don't want. No,
you know, felines are amazing if you think about it.
I think at the end of the story. You can say which one I prefer. And
I mean, obviously I'm going to prefer Inspector Waffles in the game, because Inspector Waffles is the smart cat that's analytical, that looks at things, that analyzes, that's reasonable, compared to the cute little beagle who's a little slow.
They are very stupid, you can say it. It's definitely I want them. It's a bit inspired by the French TV series named Camelot. It's only known by the French people, and it's a story about the King Arthur, and it's in a humoristic way. And the main protagonist, Arthur, is very smart, very brilliant guy. Not very, 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 very smart, but smart enough. Really some kind of normal, regular guy you want to talk with. He's just a bit depressed sometimes to be surrounded by stupid people. And all of the other, I don't know, Perceval, Lancelot is okay. It's the only one which is okay. But all of the other are very stupid, very, very stupid. Perceval is incredibly stupid, and it's so funny. And it's something I was inspired while making the game. It's really something I wanted to show us. It's the main protagonist is smart, and the other are very stupid, and he's surrounded by stupid people. And everything could be simple is getting anything which is simple could be very, very, very hard, because it's something you could do in 5 seconds. The other will have a lot of problems to do it, and you start to be angry or sad or depressed or very, very angry because you want to do it's something easy, and it's going to be a mess and very hard, and it's getting funny. And it's something which happened in my real job. And you give something a very simple task, or not in my current job, for example, but in my private job. Sometimes I gave some task to some people, and they came with surrealistic questions about the task. I don't even imagine it was possible to ask this question. Not because it's stupid, but it's what did you? Can you repeat? Why do you ask that in this kind of way? And it's something I'm trying to do with Waffle, and it's inspired by my personal experience and also by this TV series. And it's not everyone is stupid in the same way. They are all their own stupidity, and
Ignorance, yeah. It
yes, it could
depends.
be
Yeah.
ignorance, it could be plain
And
stupidity.
it's not only dogs, because the
Yes,
chief is
everyone.
also not very. Yeah.
The chief
He's
is inspired by the kind of people you can make. You can meet when you walk. It's how this guy became manager.
Yeah.
How is it possible that this guy manage people is terrible, and that's inspired by a lot of personal experience, and Spot is not smart. It's really not smart, but he's such a kind guy that it's okay. It's you want to hang out with him anyway because he's very cool guy, very always optimistic,
yeah.
and
He's a happy dude.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
happy.
he's positive. That's for sure. Yeah, he's the positive guy. Like without thinking too deep into things, he's positive. Yeah, that is too. It's a little, hard sometimes. Like when you see that like positivity is like, dude, we're investigating a murder. Okay, things are gonna be complicated. They're gonna be people who lie to us. You're gonna have to find clues and like, yay, let's go, let's do it. Like, okay, chillax.
Let me check. I don't know if to say in English, but I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's naivety, candor. Candor. It's an American word, so maybe it's like innocence, like a child innocence.
Candor.
And
yeah.
He's very like that. He's very innocent. So he's very good inside. He's like Sangoku in Dragon Ball Z. It's the same kind of Dragon Ball Z. Sorry, it's Dragon Ball. Sangoku he has a pure heart. He doesn't see why the especially in the first episodes, he's very at the beginning when he's very young, he's very pure, very naive about everything, about a lot of things that So that's how Spotty is.
And he's going to be your partner throughout the rest of the game, throughout the rest of Inspector Waffles. Is that the plan?
It's the plan, yes. It's a plan.
So wait, but is he? So you won't be able to control him though, right?
It's a good question. I wanted at first to add something that you can control and let him control. But right now in the story is not finished. I have the main part. I know what will happen. I know the end of the game, but I don't have all the part, but I don't think you can control Spotty at one. I don't think you will be able. But I wanted to do it at first to add him special power, and you can click on him and you can control him, and he's doing exactly with his smell.
That apparently doesn't work that great. For anyone who played,
I wanted to do that.
Yeah, it kind of works.
Yes, I wanted to do that with him and also with other characters. And after writing, I say, okay, it will be only him. The other is not very useful. It's just something you could add, but it doesn't add anything to the experience. So I'm not going to do it. So you can ask Spotty to smell if anything is bad,
right.
And but you just click on him, and he will do it.
Okay, so it's not going to be direct control.
Yes.
It's going to be like Inspector Waffles all the way.
Yes.
I mean, the game is called Inspector Waffles, so it's like...
Yeah, it's not called Inspector Waffles.
It's like not Inspector Waffles and Company.
And Spotty.
Well, maybe, you know what, who knows? Depending on the success, if people write in a lot and good reviews, lots of sales, and people ask for a game only with Spotty, it could be like Spotty Origins. Why not? It's gonna be a separate standalone adventure where you're gonna see Spotty going through police academy.
Or if I'm doing
That
a
should be fun.
prequel, if I'm doing a prequel, it's quite easy. It's not already written, but it will be about the snowball case. If you know the story a little bit, it will be definitely about the
about
snowball case.
Waffles.
Yes.
Oh, the case that's mentioned before, like
Yeah, the case
that
which,
was a big problem. Right.
Yeah, because it's going. I'm hesitating because I think I will talk about it, but not in details. So maybe one day I will add the DLC with a prequel, but it's only if the game works very, very well. To be honest, it's if I'm going to sell 10 copies, I'm not going to do anything more, unfortunately.
Well, and unless it's relevant to the story, and you have to tell that what happened, right? You have to tell that for, I don't know, for specific reasons. Then you don't have to tackle it, unless you need to, because the player doesn't necessarily need to know everything about Waffles in order to properly play and understand the case and solve the murder.
Yeah.
So that's So everyone, that was that was. Can you believe it's been, bless you, 3 hours? Please, please take something. Please take something for your cold. I mean, come on. Has it been cold, like where you were? Where you are?
No. It's just my throat. I don't have any other sickness. It's just I have trouble to speak so much right now. But that's okay. Really, it was worse 1 week ago. I did an interview 1 week ago. It's okay. I think it's.
How many times did you sneeze then? Like
1 hour. And how many times I sneeze? Not so much. I took some pills just before, and it was fine. But the interview, it's I don't know when. I think it's going out next week. I have no idea.
What? Come on, why do people do that? Seriously, if you have something, this is something like that I'm gonna be really bad at. If I have something, I want to put it out as soon as I can. I don't want to wait. That's the whole thing. Waiting is whatever.
Because he has. No, I don't. Let me check it. I don't want to say it.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying like in my view, it's like when I have something, I want to put it out as soon as possible, right? Because I really don't want to wait, to have stuff
because
out.
It's because he's late with other games too. It's kind of
complicated. Well, I mean, I'm swamped too, but it's like, come on.
I think it will be in 2 or 3 days. It's maybe he's going to.
Okay, so before launch at least. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, I don't want to.
It better be like a nice interview with lots of.
Yeah, it was a great interview. You will check this.
Obviously not as good as this one, but that's that's like saying you need water to survive. That's like, obviously, come on, let's be honest. You are watching the best gaming channel on the internet, and I'm saying that with a little bit of confidence and a lot of humor. So take it like that. Don't just dislike this video because I say something like so extreme. But it is the best. So yeah. So everyone, well, if we don't have anything else to cover, I don't know. Where can people find you? Very important, right? Where can people find you on sites, social media, anything like that? By the way, again, the link to Antennae Dilemma's Steam page is in the description. You can wishlist it there and get it on the 24th. Any links?
You can find our games. You can wishlist Antennae Dilemma on Steam. You can download it also on each Wednesday. Yes, I think it's Wednesday the 24th. Yes, Wednesday. If you can follow me on Twitter, it's where I'm the most active with my Discord. So it's impossible to share Discord link. So right now, so you can find it easily on my Twitter and on my website. So golosogame.com.
You can say it at Goloso Games. Like, people don't know it. People don't know the tag.
At Goloso Games. Sorry, you are right. At Goloso Games.
Yeah. At Goloso Games on Twitter, yeah.
Yes, that's two places I'm the most active, so don't hesitate to DM me, to talk with me. I'm okay to talk with everyone. See if you have any question about the game, or I don't know, and don't hesitate.
A publishing deal, money for pizza advertisement in games,
if you want
all
to
of that
publish
stuff.
my game, if you want to offer me pizza, if you want to talk
I mean,
about
okay,
cats and-
let's be honest. Given the logo of Goloso Games, right?
Yes.
Would there be a problem if you sign like not for games, like if you had like some sort of sponsorship agreement with a company that makes pizza, and whenever you do like developer streams, if you'd like to do those or something, you have like, I don't know, their t-shirt or something. That would be cool. I mean, lifetime supply of pizza, that would be nice.
Yeah, but I'm really difficult about good pizza.
Well, that's fine. I mean, obviously you're gonna. Yeah.
I would refuse if pizza is not good enough. I'm sorry, but really, it's impossible. It's impossible.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes, if it should.
You have standards. That's very good.
Yes, I have standards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's perfect. And you would, I mean, people who know you and know that you have standards, following you and everything, will know that, what, if Jan is the one recommending this pizza, even though he's getting paid, that means that the pizza's good. So I'm gonna go there and get that. Yeah.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, I think that's at Six Twitter, Discord. It's the best place to meet me and to talk with me, and
Right,
and to know the latest news.
And website golosogames.com, is that
yes, golosogames.com.
Okay.
If you
for all the projects, right? Because you have details there on Antennae Dilemma, on Inspector Waffles, on previous games.
Yes, that's true.
And hopefully future games from.
And my press kit, and if you want to stream the game, or if you want to publish it, we'll have everything about it.
And it's free. You can actually get it for free. So, if you want to show it, if you want to play it, again, this one is going to be free for all.
Yeah, free for all.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for a very limited time. After a year, Antennae Dilemma is going to become a paid title exclusively on the Epic Games Store. Yeah, $50.
$50.
So get it now until it becomes the almost AAA price in a year. Again, exclusively on the Epic Games Store.
Oh, good.
It's just April 20. Yeah.
So it's coming from my.
Someone's drilling.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's good. It's okay that I've had people drilling here too. That's that happens. Whenever you live in an apartment building or something, people will be drilling. You know what's amazing? That it's what hour is it? It's like 7 p.m. for you. Yeah, 7:06, right? Something like that. Yeah,
Yes.
it's 7 p.m. on a Saturday and people are drilling. What the fudge are people thinking? Seriously, don't they have a Saturday? Don't they know that people work 5 days a week? And they they just want to. Yeah, I mean, we get the same stuff here, so yeah.
I have no idea. I don't understand people like that. I have no idea.
I mean, at least yeah.
He started to do the drilling, and I don't know. He didn't do it. It's
the whole day.
It didn't start at 7 in the morning, so it's,
no. But you have so many more hours in the day, except like 7 p.m.
I have no idea. Yeah. I have no idea.
What if you had what if there was a baby? Babies sleep at this hour, or come on, Jesus, on a Saturday.
So it's time to
some people.
Okay, if I earn $2 million with the DLC, I will buy a house in a in a very quiet place, and I will start to.
Yeah, Como, Lake Como. Are you gonna go Lake Como and like to be a neighbor to George Clooney? Come on, they have to have good pizza around Como. Come on.
Como? No, I'm going to. I will stay in France because I'm not going.
Oh, really? Okay.
To start the company in Italy. I have no idea how to do it. Even if you are not.
But better pizza.
Yeah,
better pizza.
That's it. But I don't know.
Advantages and disadvantages.
No, it's not about financial advantages. It's just about pizza advantages.
I mean, pizza's always an advantage.
Yes, it's true. But yeah,
So even yeah.
I would. No, no, I would. If I can be in a quiet place, it would be awesome. Okay, it stopped.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, everyone needs to buy the DLC, the supporters pack, the soundtrack, and the next version of Antennae Dilemma is going to be all developed in a very very quiet place in rural France, somewhere around the southern France, because I don't know. Because it sounds better than the north of France, which is, I'm guessing, more crowded. Maybe. It's gonna be, yeah. And there's gonna be more pizza, more cheese, more wine, and definitely some commercials for French wine in the next version of
I will do it. Oh, I wanted to do a cheese game once. Wait.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that about? Can you say?
I don't remember. I saw on the internet that some guys did a wine simulation, like you build your own vineyard. I forgot
Really?
Yeah.
So what did you do there? Like, you picked grapes? You slashed them with your feet?
I have no idea. Let me give me 1 second. I will give you the name. I have no idea what's the name of this. I found it on the internet. It's a magical place, and it's on Steam.
You saved it, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
About the cheese game, I had an idea once. It was completely crazy, and it was like a not adventure game, but platformer with a guy. We want to find the perfect cheese. Oh, I forgot. It's written somewhere, and it was crazy. It's really a French guy with like wine and cheese, and yeah. In French, we have a comic book writer named Gottlieb. I love him, and his comics books are fantastic. And he invented a character named Super Dupont. Dupont is a common name in French, very very common name, last name. And this guy is a superhero, a French superhero, and so he wore a beret, a cap. I don't know if you know the cap, like the French.
Yeah, beret. Yeah.
Okay,
very very French. Okay. Yes.
Yes, he always has a baguette with him, and
oh Jesus!
Yeah,
come on.
It's
like
so
the whole classic thing. Like, what does he have? Like a striped shirt too, or something?
Yeah, yes, it's fantastic. I remember one comic where the bad guy found his kryptonite, and his kryptonite is when the bad guy took a bottle of red wine and put it in the fridge, and he said, "No, please don't do that." Yes,
that's the kryptonite. Why?
It's fantastic.
Are you supposed to not do that? Okay.
No, you're not supposed to do that. No, please don't do that.
Wow, I really don't know what the deal is with wines and stuff. There's so many rules, I guess. Okay.
It's French people are very tolerant about what you eat. For example, Italian people, it's if you mix cheese with if you mix the wrong pasta to do the bolognese, you understand bolognese? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't use the right pasta, the right kind of pasta, it's oh my God, what are you doing? For us in French,
really?
it's incredible. If there one kind of pasta for one kind of recipe, it's very complicated. You have to learn. You can eat any pasta with any. Okay, so that's how. When I lived in Italy, I lived 1 year and a half in Italy. I learned that you can't do anything with pasta. You have to learn how to cook it. In French, we really don't care about that. If you want to eat this kind of cheese with this kind of food, it's okay. We really don't care. But for example, you don't put red wine in the fridge, or you don't. You have to, there is a way to cut cheese. You don't cut cheese like
really?
Yeah, like
Are they strict like
yeah, like
what type
crazy.
of
Yeah, you have to.
wine you get, like what type of food? Like, oh, you're having red meat, you can't have white wine, like stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, you have to. It's better to eat fish with white wine, for example, or meat
Right,
with
right.
red wine. But uh, we are not very. You can drink any kind of red wine with. It's. I don't know. Of course, there are better red wine to eat to drink with
Mm-hmm.
red meat. But if you don't pick the best red wine, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's we are not
Mm-hmm.
going to war with you for that. But if you, uh, I have no idea. It's very hard to translate a recipe,
Fun.
name of the meal in English. But
Oh, it's
yes, you can't. Yeah, the best example is you with foie gras. You know what is foie gras? The cleaver.
I I think
It
the
is.
name sounds familiar, but I'm not the biggest foodie guy, so
I'm sorry. It's
don't base that on that don't base that on me, because it's like, everyone might know, and I'm like, dude, I grew up in freaking Romania. Like, what do you want me, foods? I mean, really, like I didn't taste a banana until I was like 5 years old. So come on, like,
So if you spread on the bread the cleaver, you have to be very. You don't have to. You can't spread it. You have just to put it on bread. It's something French people do, and if you don't do
is
that,
that
you say, okay,
specific?
you are not
Wow,
French.
okay.
What are you doing? It's like, okay, let's stop it right now. So yeah, we are weird for that. For the of you eat the food, but you after if you want to eat pasta with ketchup, we don't care. It's your problem. It's
Ew, come
what?
on. Like, everyone
What?
should care about that. That's, come on, with
I'm a,
ketchup.
yeah.
Oh,
If you want to
Jesus.
kill an Italian, you eat pasta with ketchup.
How
Or
would you? I mean, I never tried it, so I don't know. I assume I wouldn't like it though.
I
Like
know the
pasta with ketchup.
kryptonite Italian people. If you have to eat pasta with seafood and cheese, and now the guy is going to have a heart attack. It's the best way.
I mean, I would eat all of those, but separately. Like, not like combined. Why? I
It's
mean,
it's it's forbidden. You can go to jail in Italy for
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, Jesus. I mean,
Mm.
you know what? I
No,
think you should. Yeah, that's. No, I understand what you're saying, but it's kind of weird. Like that combination. Like that shouldn't happen. What do you mean, seafood with pasta? Well, depending on the seafood.
no seafood
Fish?
with
I never
pasta.
had fish with pasta.
Seafood with pasta. It's really good if you like seafood.
Really? I've never eaten anything like that. Okay. Like with fish. Never. So I don't know. Maybe.
No,
Huh.
it's good. With fish is weird.
Pasta with
Pasta with
mayonnaise.
fish is
No wonder.
pasta with mayonnaise is.
I don't know. That would be awful. I don't know. I,
Oh my god, I'm little dying right now. Pasta with mayonnaise.
I mean, anything. No, no, because I was listening to something they were talking about mayonnaise on stuff. It's like, come on, pasta with mayonnaise. That's probably bad, right? I mean,
It's
ew.
like
Anyway, people
American
are.
people. It's like American people talk about cheese with us and say, "Well, we have cheese too, or burgers." Yeah, sure.
I don't. That okay?
The
I don't
yellow
think that's
square.
real cheese or real meat. So it's like you can't really say about that. I mean, burgers. Well, the thing is, they have probably some pretty cool burgers there. Like a lot of, but you can't compare, obviously. Like what type of cheese does, I don't know, In-N-Out
Oh,
burger have? Or
you can find great burger in France. Really, really, it's
no, yeah.
yeah, really. I went to the USA 3 months ago. I went to New York, and the burger was really good, but not
Mm.
something you can find in France. You can find uh, equivalent quality at least. But if you go to Italy and eat pizza, it's very hard to find the same quality in some other place. For example, if you go to
Hmm.
Napoli, for example, it's very hard to find the same quality of pizza. Or if you go to the south of Italy, you will eat ice cream, like fantastic ice cream. and you will. It's very hard to find the same quality somewhere else.
You know, all this talk about food makes me think that you should make like a game where, I don't know, you go around. That's fine. You go around like the world and you find like the best foods, and I don't know, you have to do something to kind of get the recipes for them. I don't know, like maybe a platformer for that, or some stealth game where you go like you break into the world's most famous, the restaurants and you steal the recipes.
I really want. Okay, I'm hesitating with a lot of games after Waffle and Antennae Dilemma, and I'm hesitating between making another indie game, another adventure game. Sorry, about I can tell, but something cool, I think, but really not related to food, and one game about how to say that, like simulation, but very original in the story about what you can do, what you cannot do, and another one about food, and very, because my logo is a pizza, so I should do something with food. It's mandatory.
Eventually, yeah.
At some point, yes, it's mandatory. So yeah.
After waffles pizza. And it's like a cooking game where you try to find the best pizza. You try to make the best pizza recipe, and you have to like combine ingredients and see what people like and what don't like. And some can get poisoned. That'll be weird. That'll be freaking weird. Who knows? But I'm sure you have lots of ideas about other games. But right now, let's focus on the now. Antennae Dilemma next week. Next thing, working on Waffles. Are you thinking of maybe doing another game jam? Not the adventure game jam, but something else throughout the year?
I think it's over. Because it was really not a good idea to work on two games at the same time. So let's finish it and see what will happen. And let's do something.
But after, after finishing maybe Waffles, are you thinking of doing anything like that, or are you doing like next big project, let's say?
Yes, that's the game I already talked to you about. It will be a big game, but really I can't tell because it's at least
that's fine.
2020, donc so we'll see.
It's a little time away, right? So for this year, the plan is to have by the end of the year Waffles out, Inspector Waffles released, including on Steam, right? That's okay, and that's going to be a commercial title that's going to cost compared to Antennae Dilemma, which is free. The base game is free. So I mean,
I don't know.
By then,
the price is not. I don't know the price right now. It's.
Really... Oh no, I'm not asking. I'm just right. I'm not. Yeah, I don't assume that you have the pricing set into stone or anything like that. So that's fine, and we don't have to talk about the price. It's the important thing is that it's not gonna be free. Like Antennae Dilemma is free. The next game.
No, it won't be free for sure, because I have to to earn money with my game at some point. I'm quite happy with the sale I already did on itch, and it's quite good. To be honest with you, it's not. I was never featured by itch, but I got some really, really nice sales, so I'm very happy about that. Not
that's good, because it's
not enough to quit everything and to start to be but you can pay me some stuff like the website.
To be fair, Waffles, right? So Waffles, like the early access version that's on itch, that is your first title that's commercial, that actually costs money. The first game. Okay, so that's how what are the expectations really, right? Like realistically, in terms of
I expected nothing, and so really it's good because in each they sell not like Steam. If you sell 100 copies on each, it's very, very, very good. If you sell 100 copies on Steam, it's not so good.
Very bad.
Yeah, it's very bad. So on each, if you sell one, if you sell one, and mostly if you have a game on Steam and each, I already talked about that with developers. You will sell nothing on each. They will buy it mostly, like 90% of people on Steam.
So wait, so people who know that you're both on both platforms would choose Steam,
yes,
over each to buy.
Yes, that's what.
Well, okay, right. That's what they prefer. Well, obviously, because they have all the catalog there, and they see, oh, this game is there, and I'm gonna buy it where I have every 90% of my games, probably. So yeah, that makes sense. If you have the choice, you'd buy it from the place where you have the most,
the most
games.
Yeah.
Right.
Sense,
yeah,
yes.
that makes sense. But in terms of Inspector Waffles, it's only available there. So if anyone wants to play it,
but
they have
to be honest, I thought I don't know, like 80% on Steam or maybe 90% on Steam and 10% on each, and it was mostly 99% on Steam and 1% on each. It was very, very, very low. Yeah, I was very surprised. Like, I did better than some commercial game, and I didn't sell a lot, so it was very surprising for me.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. But it's good with you in your case, right? It's good to experiment. Like, 'cause you're experimenting with commercial title right now, early access itch. You have Antennae Dilemma coming out on Steam, and it's going to be free. So you're going to have quite a bit of info about both markets in terms of free Steam, paid itch. So that's data right there that you can use for future stuff, right? Like for the pricing, for example, like what pricing you may come up with for Inspector Waffles when it releases on Steam, for example, right? You can use the experience that you have from itch. How many people bought it, at what price, and so on and so forth. So I think that's good. I think it's good that you're experimenting. That you're putting out, your first game, and it's going to be free, right? I mean, you're testing the waters, right? This is the first game you're putting up on Steam,
testing the water.
I mean, right, and that's valuable information in terms of how you communicate, how you get people to wish list, maybe the best time or the better hour even when to release the game. So yeah, everyone, check out Antennae Dilemma. Again, it's coming out next week, and again, it's gonna be free. You know what? You're gonna like it. If you play it, you're gonna like it. It's not a long game. You're gonna play. It's a one sitting game. So if you sit down and play it, you'll probably finish it because it's gonna capture you quite a bit. And if you don't like cliffhangers, then please direct all the hate mail to @GozoGames, because I don't have anything to do with that. The game has a cliffhanger. It's a cool one.
If you don't like the end, sorry.
The ending is not bad. It's just a cliffhanger, right? That's the thing. It's not a bad ending. It's like
But if you don't like the cliffhanger, let me know, and I will tell you what will happen or not.
Oh no! Why would you do that? No, don't do that.
Or not.
That's spoilers.
Or not. No, I won't.
No, you're gonna say like, "Oh, I'm like, we're sorry to hear that. We will hear and we'll listen to you, and we will do better in the future. And we always listen to our community, and we want to form an inclusive and safe environment for all adventure game players. And we are going to offer you a 5% discount for Inspector Waffles when it comes out later this year on Steam." That's it, and that's you're good. You're good. That's customer service right there. And I've never worked in customer service, so do not take my word for it. That's not good. Like, no, That's bad. But yeah, everyone, let's finish up because it's already been 3.5 hours.
Yes.
Can you believe that? 3.5 hours. That's over 3 hours, which is good. You know what? Again, it's been a long time. It was a good discussion, and hopefully we're gonna have another one.
Unexpected, but I'm okay.
I mean, if you're okay with staying and talking, I'm more than fine because I really enjoy these, and I really wish I did more, and it's my fault that I don't do more to some extent. So I need to work on that because actually, you know what? Speaking of adventure games, Lord Winklebottom.
Yes.
Right. It's on Kickstarter again.
Yes, it's true.
It launched again, so I really have to talk to the developer.
I didn't talk about the incoming game because it's not incoming yet. She said she's only woman.
One man studio, one woman studio. Yeah.
And she's doing.
So it's not going to be easy, but
she's doing Kickstarter right now. She is going to be successful, but please help her anyway because it's
the more
every
bit helps.
And I played the demo and it's really good and really enjoy it. When I played it when I was at Venture X, so it was 6 months ago, and it was really good and I really enjoyed this little demo she shared. And if the whole game is like that, it will be really cool. So and it's
also a detective story.
Yes. There's no detective aspect to the game. It's really point and click game, but it's really cool.
Yeah, but it's still, like you still play a detective in that regard.
Yes. You played it.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
You played it. It's a puzzle and nice. The story is cool. The characters are very cool. And it's intriguing.
Yeah, from the demo you don't really get to.
Yes. There's a big cliffhanger at the end too. I really want to know what is inside the
what's in the box. Sorry,
it's not a big it's not a big spoiler.
No, but it's but no, it has a demo out. It's on Kickstarter. Lord Winklebottom and something. I think the name is longer.
Yes.
You just search detective giraffe game Kickstarter and you'll find it because that's what you're controlling. You're controlling a detective that's a giraffe, and it's kind of like Sherlock Holmes type of character, right? The giraffe, Lord Winklebottom, and he has a sidekick that's kind of like a Dr. Watson. And it's a hippo. It's funny. It's all animals, and there's been a murder, which is always dramatic, and there's a problem with that. You have to solve murders. If there's a murder that happens, you have to solve murders. That's pretty much how it works in every game. If there's been a murder, TV show, all that, if there's a murder, you have to solve it. You can't just leave it like that. It's not the real world in which cases remain unsolved. That's basically it. So yeah, that's coming out. So hopefully I'll be able to do an interview maybe soon with the developer Lord Winklebottom, because it has potential. I definitely, and the artwork is really sweet. It's like a really polished like comic book almost. I don't know. I like the style. I really like the style.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why she chose a giraffe, but that's an interesting thing. Because why a giraffe? I mean, they're not exactly known for
why not?
Anything in terms of. No, I mean, no. You know what? No, there's a reason for it, and that is a really good topic to talk to a person about. Why did they choose something? I think that's very important, because there's a billion things that go into every choice, even if we don't realize it or not. I mean, why did you choose a cat? Well, because of reasons that you gave. So in this case, there must be a reason. So hopefully we're gonna find out. But yeah, for me, what can I say? Again, check out Antennae Dilemma. If you like this live stream, this interview, you want more, please like it. That helps a lot. It helps, YouTube recommend it. Just like Steam, except it's YouTube. If it has more likes, it's recommended to other people who are interested in indie games, in adventure games, based on the tags and everything. And, you know, subscribe if you want to see more, of course. I'm closing in on 2,300 videos, which is, I can't believe that. I mean, how the fudge did I reach almost 2,300 videos? I don't know. But that's gonna happen in probably like 2 weeks or something.
Wow.
So there's
Congrats.
tons of games to discover on there. I mean, you know what? You know, thank you. But you know how I watch is like, is it more about volume? But it's not. But I try to make the videos good, and I feel bad when some things don't work out as I want. But you know, for the most part, I don't just push out videos just because I can. You know, and I try to be passionate and interested in whatever.
Wow.
So and whatever. That's how I'm interested. Yeah, whatever. So check that out, and of course all the ways to which you can support me. Those are super important since I'm not really making much money here. I'm like an indie developer except without the talent. Basically, it's the same thing. I'm not making any money and I'm putting a product out, but I'm less talented, a lot less talented than any developer. But I do make something, so, if you want to see more, you can give me a direct donation through PayPal. You can support me with the purchases that you make on Epic Games Store, Humble Store, Fanatical. And last but not least, last plug, the Brave browser. Download it, try it. It's amazing. It's really good. And it has a crypto token which is growing, and it reached 41 cents earlier in this interview. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, that was it. That's my plugin. What can I say? So thanks, Jan. You wanna close us off?
No, I'm
last
fine.
words?
I think I said everything I need to say.
So
Yes,
next week coming out, right?
Yes.
24th, any specific hour? Do you have the hour for it? So people, or is it like
it's
kind of weird thing?
Let me check. The
4 or 5 GMT?
No, it's later. Yeah, let me check. I think it's 10 Easter time.
Okay. 10
So
a.m.
it's-
Easter time?
Yeah, so it's 7 p.m. for me. So maybe it's 8 p.m. for you.
Okay, so it's 7 p.m. CET, right? Central European Time, I would guess, right? That would be
Yes.
because you're CET, right?
I have no idea which one I am. I'm the French one.
I think you're.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So in France, I think it's Central European Time. See, like France.
So it's not written on the Steamworks. So I'm going.
It's okay. So it's in the evening if you're in Europe, right? In the evening if you're in
Yes.
Europe. In the morning and midday if you're in the United States. Well, in the Americas in general, not only in the United States, because it's not only the freaking US over there. So that's it's gonna be free.
10 a.m. PDT. 10 a.m. PDT.
Okay, Pacific Day.
Yeah, so it's
Fine.
7 in France.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Right, so 7 CT, GMT, I guess it's 6. So check it out.
Yes.
There's a link in the description below. 12:34 p.m. here. Wow, okay. Yeah, so you're getting for lunchtime. Oh, so this is in somewhere in the United States. Cool. Or well, in the Americas. I don't know why I assume always United States, but I guess it's because it's the biggest country, like in terms of the population there. But yeah, so coming 24th, free if you want to support and help out and encourage Jan to make more
Thanks.
more Antennae Dilemma, more waffles, then purchased, right, the supporters pack, which do you have a price for that? So the soundtrack is going to be $4.
Yes, supporter pack is
supporters
$2.
Okay, so only $2. Okay, so it's just
So,
$2. Probably
yeah.
$1.99. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So that's very little.
Yeah, it's very a candy. It's we are not trying to getting rich. It's just helping us to buy our coffee. It's just a little support for.
Not even expensive coffee. I mean, not even like Starbucks Grande Latte bullcrap. No, like a cheap coffee, like a good but cheaper coffee. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So that was it for us.
Yeah,
3
thanks
hours
a lot.
and something. Thank you, Ian, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for commenting, for the questions. And I don't know, what can I say? Thanks, everyone, for watching. I really like doing this, so yeah, that's amazing. Until the next time we see each other, thank you and have an awesome weekend.
Thanks. See you.